sky has been slowly darkening all day, and the smell of rain has been thick in the air. And now it has finally begun to fall, accompanied by loud peals of thunder that seem to roll across the landscape. The sun is hidden behind massive storm clouds, and a cold wind blows from the north. As bolts of lightning begin to slam from cloud to ground, and pieces of hail begin to strike the earth, the need for shelter becomes obvious. Ahead, in the distance, a large tor rises from the ground, its form illuminated by the occasional lightning bolt. It seems rocky and solid, and though climbing it in this weather would be folly, it might have some outcropping that would provide safety from the storm. The only alternative is to endure the weather. As the rain and now the hail begins lashing down, we see these two figures illuminated briefly as the tor ahead by lightning arcing across the sky. First of all, Dom, can you describe what your character looks like, taking into account that you're in the middle of the most frightening storm you likely have ever been in?
Yeah, so my character is an elf. We're looking rather bedraggled, obviously, with the weather. Hood up, though, it keeps getting blown down. He's having to keep pulling it back up. And striding far ahead of Mike's character and doubling back to to allow his shorter companion to keep up. He's a fresh-faced, relatively young elf. His eyes are what you might unkindly describe as slightly vacant. Unfocused, perhaps, would be a more kind way of putting it. His mouth, not agape, but he's not smart. Let's put it like that. And he is, he's wearing leather armor. He's wearing muddied boots, a bow strapped to his back, a long sword at his side, and a sort of a buckler made of bark on his forearm as he darts backwards and forwards in the rain, seemingly forgetting that he's much, much faster than his companion.
Very good. And as there's another bolt of lightning from cloud to ground, there is almost like an explosion as wet sod is thrown into the air as a bolt lands. You can only imagine about 100 feet from you. And as you are illuminated by this particular strike, Mike, can you please describe your character, taking into account the current predicament you find yourself in?
Yes, well, as mentioned, this character is much shorter than Dom's. He is a halfling, and this halfling, possibly atypical of other halflings, is adorned in scale mail, all of it now drenched. At his side is a wet morning star, but he holds above his head a heavy wooden shield, using it as an umbrella to somewhat prevent his hair from getting too wet. A failed attempt, as most of his scruffy hair is starting to just bush out as it seems to curl upon itself in wet weather. And just those wet cowlicks just getting everywhere. One of the prominent features about this is a very it looks gold, but in all efforts it's just painted gold. is a wooden symbol of Pelor that hangs around his neck, which he curses to himself, going, "By Pelor, son, I wish it was out. It's too wet and dark," as he's desperately winded trying to catch up with the elf.
It's almost an affront to your god above. The sun blighted by this feral black sky above. Another bolt of lightning comes raining down, and the hail, you note, is beginning to get a lot heavier, to the point that it is beginning to be painful as it's striking at you from above. Is there anything that you say to each other, or is there anything that you want to communicate to each other as you are sort of like in this storm and see this looming structure ahead?
I think my character will see the halfling clutching his Pelor's symbol, and he reaches into his own jerkin and pulls out a sort of homemade version made of twine and sticks of a very similar design, and sort of clutches it and says, "Is there nothing we can do about this blasted storm?"
Pelor's of the sun, not the rain. Just, we need to get somewhere dry. That's...
And the elf will turn around, searching for somewhere to find shelter. Hair whipping in his eyes. Oh God! God's.
Wonderful. So, yeah, you can't help but notice obviously the great structure that looms before you, built and ruined atop this great mound on the landscape in front of you. So no spot checkers are required to see it. That is clearly your best chance. You can provide, because there's no bards among you, no bardic knowledge checks are allowed, but you can have a DC 15 knowledge check to see if you know anything about the structure ahead. Accepted are architecture and engineering, dungeoneering, local, history, nobility and royalty.
I will attempt one.
I would allow a religion as well, actually.
I have history, religion and nobility. So
Okay.
I've had history and religion, so I'll do... If you permit a religion, I'll take religion.
I actually would put religion on there, but I think for a very good reason, so...
I've got engineering, geography, and nature.
Yeah, you can give a dungeoneering roll then.
I'm not trained in any of them. It'd just be a flat roll. I don't know if that.
Oh, that's a way to start. We're as smart as each other when it
Double
comes to this.
sixes. It's listen, it's a terrible storm, and it's probably hampering your ability to think straight. All you know is that there's some looming structure ahead. Of its dangers and of its meaning and of its purpose, you are entirely ignorant, at least for now. What do you do?
We need cover.
The
I want
elf.
cover.
The elf will point to the structure and say, "Look, there! Shelter!"
Good eyes.
Despite the fact it's very clearly obvious to everyone.
Right before you then, you just see this huge mound, and there is a ruin atop of it. The massive tor towers above the surrounding country. A few narrow ledges offer scant protection from the elements. But closer inspection reveals a massive arched entryway, at least 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide, set into the side of the hill. The ground just outside it slopes away from the doorway, directing the falling water out and away. Given this fact, and the sturdy nature of the hill, whatever space that lies beyond the door should be both dry and safe from the lightning and hail. The construction seems quite sturdy, so the likelihood of collapse, even in severe conditions such as these, is remote. In that case then, I will move you to see what you see.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, as described in that bit of introductory text, you see this great opening in front of you. Yeah, it's sort of like dug into this side of a hill. As you approach, like I said, like the hail is beginning to feel like immensely painful. Is there anything that you would like to do as you approach this archway?
Guess we should check how sort of sturdy the ground is and whether or not anything's going to fall on us or slip from under us.
Incredible. So you can roll a DC 12 search or knowledge, architecture and engineering check. So DC 12 search if you have it.
Oh shit. Looks fine.
Perils' guidance will see us through, like the rays of glorious sunshine.
Right, so in that case then, this seems to be perfectly safe. You can
That
give
bodes
me
well.
a DC 15 spot check as well to see if you can learn anything else.
Nope, that's another 6.
13.
Nope, you don't. You don't notice anything about this.
Oh God!
So you're just staring at this yawning archway, and the hail is thunderous. I don't mind saying that if you were to deter from this course of action, you are of the opinion that this weather will begin doing lethal damage if shelter is not found very soon, because it's just getting worse. Let's have a look at what we see then. So yeah, the spot check, you're just looking at this thing. It just looks like this this stone carved archway that leads into the darkness. Though it does appear that there is a light beyond that almost reaches your own. Now, there might be, I will describe, some discrepancy between what you both see, because as an elf, Dom, your character is given 40 foot of vision when you have a source of lighting. Now, to save time, I gave you that at the start rather than so you can see a bit further ahead. We'll just say it's because of your elven eyes. However, Mike, your character, you only see as far as the torchlight will show you. But there is a glinting light in the darkness that all can see. What do you do?
I just want to get inside.
It can't be worse in there than it is out here. Let's go.
You rush inside. You move inside the tor. And as you do, you are met with a cavernous expanse of an entryway. The stone chamber beyond the entrance measures at least 10 paces square, though the included map makes it much larger, so I've gone with the map size rather than the grey box size. Peeling paint and broken scrollwork suggest that this was once decorated with some care, but now only dust remains. 3 massive stone doors, one each to the left and right, and one directly across the entrance that leads deeper to the tor. But you can only catch like a glimpse of these in the darkness ahead. Also, there appears to be, as you can rightly see, an encampment of some kind. A tent made of animal skin has been erected here. There are some belongings and a very, very dimly lit fire, as if the embers are only keeping it alight.
Can I make my way to the tent and see if I can I quietly make my way to the tent and see if there's any inside?
Yes, by all means, you can do a move silently check to move towards the temple quietly.
15.
Yeah, you are well practiced at moving with stealth, and your footsteps do not make a noise as you approach.
Is the tent shut?
The tent isn't shut. It's a very basic sort of like animal skin tent. You can see that it's only just flaps at the front, and you can see that they're both pinned open, so you can see into the back of the thing. You imagine maybe to let some of the warmth of the fire get in. No one's inside, from what you can see.
I'll whisper back to the halfling. There's no one here.
Okay.
Can I tell how long the fire has been?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yes, that's very clever. I like that. You can give me a survival check unless there's anything you'd argue, but I think
I think survival's
100% survivals.
8.
Just because it's a good idea, even with an 8, I'm going to say that you know that it's been lit for at least a good few hours. But that doesn't give you much accuracy. You just know it's been lit a while. There's a number of burn logs in there already.
It's been lit for a little while.
So I can see it's bringing out a few things. I'm just... Bear with me. Just trying to dry myself off. Just going to quickly unpack the blanket from my bag as I just dry off my hair.
With your blanket, it's gonna cause problems later, isn't it?
Well, my thought was to leave it here to dry for a bit. If there's no one else here, we'll be okay.
Well, you should stoke the fire a little then if you're going to do that.
Yes. Just want to dry off my armour and then... that I can do.
You stoke the fire and you sit there for a while, or you stand there for a while, just taking in this new locale you found yourself in. Stoking the fire sheds a bit more light on your area, and as your eyes adjust, you note that there is a ruin, like that sort of like leads diagonally through the room that appears to be dripping with water. You imagine that while the majority of this place is providing shelter, there are still leaks from the tor above. As you settle yourselves.
I might take a little walk around the room just to fully get to grips with our surroundings while we're in here, if you're going to warm yourself.
Well, once I've dried myself, I will give you a hand. Don't want my armour to rust.
Yeah, you begin moving your way through this cavernous hall.
It's gone.
And yeah, you see that ancient scroll work that's unraveled from pillars and bundled up on the dusty ground next to them. There's this ruinous bit of rock that runs diagonally through the hall, and yeah, eventually you see these two statues flank a doorway that leads to the north.
Did you say there's scroll work on the pillars?
Yeah, so you see those sort of brown things there. That's those would have been banner-sized scrolls effectively. But when you get there, Dom's character.
Shall we say what our character's name was?
It's okay. We'll get there. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. When the elf gets there, the elven ranger gets there, I would like you to perform a spot check for me, please.
Well, hopefully I'll roll better than I have been doing.
It's DC 12.
16.
Very good. So, as you sort of like make your way up that direction, you can't help but notice some movement. You notice that there's some movement, an unmistakable movement of something coming from that dark wreck there. And I'm just going to make a note of something.
Can I withdraw my bow and an arrow?
Yeah, you pull
Knock
your
it,
bow
ready to
and
go.
arrow, and you just see in the dark, just sort of like shy of the light. Actually, it's quite well into the light. Actually, you see a face. You see a person hunched over by the rock.
They're behind me, Craigie.
Yeah, hunched over. This human is kind of crouched there and is shaking with apparent fear. And he goes, like, is shaking his head, like urging you not to like move any further, like in the dark. Like all you can really see is his face, and he's just like wildly shaking his head as if to say, "No, no."
Yeah, the elf will cry out, "Who goes there?"
Ah, you'll wake them! Like, and he like begins to like dash. As you hear him say that, you hear. Well, do you give me a listen check, please? DC 10.
Am I able to do anything with that? Like a listen either?
You
or...
can definitely do a listen check for what is about to occur.
The elf ears prick, and I get a 20, but not as pricked as the halfling.
What was yours then?
21.
Ooh, 21. Okay, very good. With that, let me see. It's almost like suddenly you, as you're listening, you can hear like stones moving, like small bits of gravel and sediment roiling as if moving as one thing. And then you realise that actually many things are moving, but as one.
Oh no.
Red eyes gleam in the dark crevices of the rock that is like diagonally like thrown across this hallway. And the unmistakable sign of vermin, rats with gleaming red eyes, begin chittering and dart towards you. Rats beyond count. Roll initiative.
Mike, this is specifically what we talked about. We weren't going to get involved in this sort of thing. Oh, come on! This is not going to plan already.
No, I was hoping to catch up with you, but
Now, where are you? It's well, you're miles away, aren't you?
I'm still at the camp. Oh.
Oh no. Right.
There is hope.
Sorry, what was your initiatives?
23.
11.
Okay. So you're barely able to see them on this, so I'm going to have to zoom us in a little. You see the figure there as well. So
little bit of throat singing.
Vicious, screeching vermin begins to pour out from the water, the pooling, flooding section in the central part of this chamber. Squeaking and rushing forward they come, their red eyes blazing. The Elven Ranger reacts first. What do you do?
Well, I guess I will have to loose that arrow that I was probably at the closest one there that I can see, if that is indeed.
Still can't see anything. I'm just hearing this.
Yeah, I'll just fire an arrow, I think.
Yep, certainly.
16 to hit.
So that's the one closest to you, yes. Okay, the arrow flies forward towards the rat. And that is a hit.
Excellent, that's what we like to hear. 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. It's immediately killed. What's it like as you just in the dark, you just shoot a rat?
I think just the second it comes into the elven sight, it's zeroed in on and just pierced with an arrow, stuck to the floor, straight through the side.
And it's vanquished in a single shot.
And then the elf will make a run to try and skirt to get back to my my buddy over here, but without getting any closer to the rats.
Very good idea, yes. You rush over there, and that concludes the Elven Ranger's turn.
It does indeed.
Okay, as that occurs, the cleric, the halfling cleric, you hear this commotion, and then you see, you can see one rat, I believe.
Nope. All I can see is a faint, shadowy figure of Dom, and I think it's because it's in dim lighting, not proper.
That's right. Yeah, so you've only got 20 feet of vision then. Yeah, so you don't actually see where they're you know where the direction they're coming from, but you can't see them currently. You just hear.
Then what I'm going to do, as there is a fire next to me, would you permit me to be able to light a torch as a standard action using the fire next to me?
Yes. You can do your movement to. Oh, but you've got to use your movement to equip it and then light it. Yeah, you can use a standard action to do that. Sure.
Cool. So I'm going to pull out a torch, and then I shall light it in the fire next to me. It gives me 20 foot bright and another 20 foot of dimmed illumination, so 40 foot in total.
Oh, okay, right. I misunderstood. I thought you got 20 foot when you had a light source.
Yeah, there's 20 foot currently here, but it gives me 20 foot bright illumination, another 20 foot, so 40 foot dim, but it means I can move around and not be trapped to the fire. That makes sense. See a bit more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the light dances at the end of the torch and it illuminates, and you just see these shapes like emerging out of the water.
There's a lot of rats. I guess that's all my turn then. I pulled out a torch and lit it.
Well, I did say you could do it as a standard action, so I'll say you can do half your movement.
Half my movement.
5 feet.
Oh,
You can step.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Gosh.
He's so slow.
Oh, this harbour is heavy.
Oh, and you step towards them.
That's wild.
Gallant cleric of Palor, the light in the darkness. The figure in the distance will now move. He darts. To here. and he lets out a cry. Get them away from me! And he lets fly a shape in the darkness. Oh, no, I'm doing him a disservice there.
Wow.
He hurls something into the darkness, and you hear splat as another rat is exterminated. He moved, he attacked, that's his turn. It is now the rats. They are going to use their whole turn to double move. So that one rushes after the stranger that you met in the darkness. One uses its movement to close the distance with the cleric. Another one does the same. This one doesn't quite get to you. Neither does that one. Just this horrid, intoxicating stench reaches you as you hold your torch aloft in front of you, Sir Cleric. But they have all used their full movement to do that, so that is their turn. We are back to the top of the round. The Elven Ranger, bow in hand, what do you do?
Is that last rat staying there?
Oh, yes, there's another one. I completely missed him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll go there. Thank you for your good spot check. Elven Ranger, what do you do?
I'll loose another arrow this time at this one here to try and stop my halfling buddy from getting surrounded.
Yes.
A 9.
Your arrow clatters uselessly upon the ground as it misses the rat.
There's not much else I can do there, really. I guess I will come further down here to lend some support.
Very good. You rush forward to lend some support. We now move to the halfling cleric.
With torch in hand, I look outside. I hope Pelor grants you a merciful death as I hit it with the torch.
Amazing attack.
Flaming torch. 12.
You swing wildly, but the rat scurries out of the way, rolling onto its back and winding between your legs.
Then I shall take my movement to go and provoke, I think, possibly 2 attacks of opportunity.
Yes. Technically, I was thinking, well, wood rats. They are right. They're not. Just to be clear, they're not dire rats. These are just rats. So I don't know whether they would have the thought. I guess they would. They're opportunistic. So yeah, they'll get an attack opportunity. What are you doing first of all, though, just so I know?
I'm stepping away. I'm moving back.
Yeah. So they will take the attacks of opportunity for sure. Rats. 11 is the first.
That misses my armor class of 20. So both are trying to gnaw upon your armor, but maybe one hurtles up into the air, donk, and bounces off your shield as it takes a jump at you. That was their attacks of opportunity. I will go 5, and to be careful, I'm going to put the fire between me and the rats. So step to there, 10, 15.
Ah, very good. Very good. I like that
defense.
Yeah. Very good. So that was your turn. It is now this stranger up here. And there's like a flash in the darkness of steel. This guy's killing it. There's a flash, and there's a as another rat is surely slain in the distance. And then he will move to there. That is his turn. It is now the rats. And they are just going to do their best to close in on you. This one is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and use all of its movement, so double move. 1, 2 can get you. 1, 2, 3 can get you. 1, 2. Will do its full movement. And then this one is going to give chase to there. So 2 of them are going to attack at you, Halfling Cleric. Once again, your armor class is 20.
20.
Can the rats ever meet such a... Oh! Just! How do you just defend yourself against this rat?
You know, I was looking at it, and I think it hid behind the blanket, or like that roll there, and then it just like leapt through the fire and just caught. Oh crap! As at the last second, as it leaps through the flames at me, I just bring the shield up.
But then another one darts around, getting a 21 to hit.
As I lifted my shield up to deflect, I lost my defense.
Yes. Oh my god, the other one gets through, sinking its gnarly little teeth into you. You just go, oh, as it like bites hard onto you. It does.
It's like the size of a dog to me.
1d3 minus 4.
So 1.
That is how rats are statted in the book. But because you have to do a point of damage, you get a single point of damage as it bites into you hard.
It bites you and heals you.
And weirdly, you imagine that perhaps like 5 points of damage would actually hurt more. It's one of those like little cuts. It's like, oh god, like it's like, yeah, really really bad. But that is their turn. We're back to the top of the round. The Elven Ranger, bow in hand. What do you do?
Yeah, well, to really maximise this, I'm going to have to take a 5-foot step back, which I don't think provokes an attack of opportunity.
It will not provoke an attack of opportunity, it's 5.
But that will allow me to fire my bow.
Okay.
Without impediment, I think.
Yeah, roll it up.
18 to hit.
Is a successful strike. Yeah, your arrow like slams into the thing and immediately kills it.
Yes. Another one.
That was the one that was directly in front of you, yes?
Yes, if I can shoot that one with bearing in mind it's sort of next to Mike.
That's... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I remember what we're going to... Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine.
I guess it wasn't engaged with Mike.
It didn't engage. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, yeah, it gets splatted. Grim black blood splatters across the floor. Okay. That is... No, that was your turn, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
It is now the Halfling Cleric's turn, and you are beset rats on either side. What do you do?
As I shake off the rat that got a little bite on me, the one I deflected earlier, I'm going to attempt to bring the torch down upon it. In my mind thinking, remember Pelor. 16.
Is a hit.
Yes. With a torch, I do 2 points of damage.
What is it like as
Wow.
you kill the creature?
I will say the +1 isn't strength. The +1 is for the fire damage the torch does.
Was that the one above or below? Sorry.
The one above.
One above.
So
Splat.
I hit it with the torch, but I kind of like push the torch in, almost branding it as I kind of engulf the body in flame.
The elf cries, "Pelor's might!" as you do it.
As I finish branding, I'll lift the torch triumphantly. Pelor's might.
There is the stench of cooking vermin flesh in the air. Very good. It is the shadowy stranger's turn, and he gives another yell, like a yelp in the dark, like desperately swinging a blade. He will roll. Possibly a fumble.
Oh,
He was doing so well.
I don't know why I rolled it on that one as well, but maybe we'll do it again.
Oh no.
That is a fumble, and I realise I haven't got the table open, so bear with me 1 second. There's always something, isn't there?
Famously.
Famously, always something. Here it is. One of you guys, roll me a d100, please.
go on, Dom.
Oh dear, 89.
Oh my god. Critical hit, critical friend in the threatened area, otherwise self.
Oh no.
Critical hit damage and roll on table again. Okay, so would you like to roll another D100 for me, please?
You can do
Shall
this
I do
one,
that
mate.
one? Are we going to kill off the NPC? 60.
It's not our fault.
Apply critical multiplier +1.
Oh! We might have done. He's a
Okay.
really character to get some plot device from. It's more.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have important information.
He might do. He might have quite a lot of important information. Jesus. Oh no.
Harakiri coming up.
Ooh.
I don't.
He swings wildly at the rat, and his short sword just leaves his grasp. It bounces hard off the pillar next to him, and the shining, palest blade returns to him, straight through his throat. And the man in the darkness is killed by his own fumble.
Oh, this does not bode well.
Oh no! He's like in the darkness. You just hear, and like you just hear like the dull thud of someone collapsing in the dark, and then as the rat begins its work.
Is he dead?
100% dead. Well over double his HP.
Oh, fuck.
He had 6
A part of
HP.
me's thinking, what was that? Is there another person or thing here that killed him?
That was the
God.
stranger's turn. It is, or the mysterious stranger's turn. His last turn.
He killed something every turn of his life, so
He
that's
did,
not bad.
yeah. To be fair. Right, it is now the turn of the rats. Remaining, we have 3 remaining, I believe. Yes.
Looks like it.
So 1, 2, 3. That one is just going to use its full movement to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 to go there, and we'll get the flank bonus against you, Elven Ranger. as the two rats skitter around. $15 hit.
AC is 17. So that's a miss.
I don't know why I
Thankfully.
keep doing it on this one, but I will now. So, and the other one,
Oh no!
yeah, critical.
This could be it.
I realised that one should have been, that would still would have missed because your arm class is 17. So that is possibly a critical.
What?
That is a critical. Right, okay. Roll me a D100, please.
Hope for a damage one, because that would still work in our favour.
Yeah. What is with these high rolls? I never roll this high when
I
I'm
don't believe
doing the
it.
criticals myself.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Roll me a D4, please.
Oh god. That's a 4.
You take 1d4 worth of dexterity damage as the rat leaps
No.
into the air and burrows its tooth into your fingers. There's a disgusting ripping sound as the rat latches onto your hand and blood goes everywhere. You also take 2 points of damage.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
It's nothing we can do.
That's the one good. That's the one thing he's good at is dexterity.
Oh no. The last one is going to round on the cleric. Oh, something seems wrong, it says on mine.
It's 'cause you
pressed
plus
plus
plus.
twice.
Oh, and I'm putting it on the wrong one as well, for God's sake. I'm trying to keep it all neat. 21 to hit the cleric. You take a point of damage as it buries its teeth behind your shin guard and begins like gnawing away your lower leg.
Get off me!
We are back to the top of the round. The Elven Ranger blood pours like amply from your hand. What do you do?
I guess there's not much difference between longbow and sword at this point. I don't want to take another hit, or another round of hits, 2 rounds of hits. So I'm going to drop my longbow and take out my longsword as my movement.
Dang, dang, dang! It drops on the ground.
And then standard action will be swinging a longsword round like I know what I'm doing. That's a bad miss.
You swing in the dark, but the creature just isn't there. You just don't see where it is at this point. You just swing and it's not there. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
The cleric, halfling, what do you do?
Hearing that something may have happened to the stranger in the dark, I'll just mutter to myself, please, please, let it be nothing unholy, as I attack the rat in front of me again, trying to brand it. 14.
14 is a miss.
Oh no.
Thunk!
Turn down us, Mike.
They're so small. The thing is, it's so hard to get them. Like, there's a thunk and it's already gone.
Oh, we're screwed. Against rats.
Against the
rats, man.
The rats!
I don't want to have to use a spell either.
I'd say good luck using a spell at this point. They're on you. The stranger is dead. I realised I haven't actually crossed him out.
A stranger with vital information for the.
Vital information for the whole exposition of the dungeon, but never mind. He lies slain. It is now the rat's turns. This one that you just tried to strike, halfling cleric, will retaliate.
He's retaliated twice successfully so far.
He has. He's like a paragon of the rats. The rat hurtles out of the darkness, possibly a critical, as it somehow it flies from above you. It's insane.
They fly now?
That is a confirmed critical from the rats. These are the best rats I have ever seen. Please roll a D100 for me, please, cleric.
38.
Well,
That is a critical multiplier +1, so 2, so 3 points of piercing damage. As I said, like it somehow like skitters up like the pillar next to you, and then just leaps, and like its teeth sink into the side of your neck, and then rip as like it flies past you. It like gets a mouthful of you, blood pouring down into your tunic. The two either side of the elf will also attack with their flanking bonus. I shall actually
with my
add
lower
their
AC.
I will add their flanking bonus onto the actual roll this time.
It's okay, the rat god is going for me.
So a 9, so that's a miss, I imagine.
Gratefully, yeah.
And 22.
Easily a hit.
That's another
It's a
point
hit on
of
the die.
damage. Yep, 1 point of damage as it sinks its teeth into you. We're back to the top of the round. The Elven Ranger, you're beset by two small creatures. Tiny creatures, sorry.
I'm gonna swing the longsword around again and hope I hit something. Wildly 12, that's a miss.
That is a miss. Dang.
Maybe I'll move actually. I'm just gonna take a 5-foot step this way. I should have done that last time. Since
Yeah, you make a 5-foot step.
try and protect my flank.
Yep, well, they can't get a flank on you because that pillar's now in the way, so that was clever. Very good. Okay. Sorry, that was your turn, wasn't it? It's now the cleric's turn, the halfling cleric.
The cleric bleeding quite a lot now, as the rat nicked quite an important vein on
Yes.
me. So there's a lot of blood coming out of the armor underneath. I'll look at this and be like, oh, I was trained for this. I was trained for this. As I then will attempt to dispatch the rat here. It's a final attack before I take drastic action. Nope.
Yeah.
You give a cry and attack, but the thing is just, it wriggles away and slinks black and wet into the dark and then lunges back towards you. The rats surge forward once again. It goes at you, Mr. Cleric. 17, it bounces from your armour as it lunges once again. The other two are just going to remain where they are, I think, so they can get attacks on you, I think. Elven Ranger. So that one is going to roll for 21 is a hit. Oh my god! For 1 point of damage. And that was a miss. So, yeah, a single point of damage as it bites into you. We are back to the top of the round, the Elven Ranger. The rats are swarming around you. What are you going to do?
Swing the sword again and pray to Pelor.
Pray!
14.
Not quite, unfortunately. That is just not quite good enough. It clangs loudly against the pillar as you swing wildly for it. Halfling Cleric.
Ooh, I'm checking something. Okay, it doesn't say. It just says living creatures.
Okay.
I will take a free 5-foot step back
Yes.
to back
Back to back.
with my ranger elf buddy. And I'm going to do a spell.
Very good.
Okay. It is a spell. It says living creatures, so if you wish to dispute this, that's fine.
Okay.
I will lift up my my pendant of Pelor as I take it from my neck and just hold it high, pendant and torch in hand, and I will just shout, "May the light fascinate you," as I cast hypnotism on the creatures in the area.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if it just says living creatures,
Several living
they
creatures.
don't need to be intelligent or anything, do they?
Several living creatures no more than 30 feet apart, which I think they all are.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if that's the case, what do they have to make?
I can only affect a certain amount of these. So I can only affect 6 hit die in total.
Okay, so you affect all of them.
All 3 of them need to make a will save, but because we're in combat, they get a +2. So the DC, will DC, 13. Let's say 11, just so you don't have to add bits.
Okay, so so they get a +2 to their save then in that case.
Yeah, so DC 13 or
Okay.
maybe
Plus
11.
11 fails.
Meets it, doesn't beat it. Cool.
20.
One of them succeeds.
Below where the ranger is succeeds. Doesn't it meets it? Doesn't exceed it. It was 13, you said, right?
Yep.
Yep. So 2 of them fail. So only the one lower down than the ranger is successful. The other 2 fail.
Then those 2 are completely fascinated, which means they do nothing, but essentially just sit on the spot and just look at me holding this talisman.
So what does the manifestation of Pelor's light look like as you fascinate these 2 rats? What does it look like as you use your magic? Or Pelor's
A
magic?
beam of light seemingly breaks through the ceiling of this tor, and just for a second, the 2 of us are illuminated, casting both great radiation, a radiating aura, but also great shadows that spread outwards, that stem from us. And as the rats sit in the dark, there's just a glimmer of light on their faces as they are quelled for a moment. Any action with them will break them out of this, or they will come out of it in 5 rounds. That buys us some time.
Very good.
Yeah, it's important.
Very good indeed. Pelor's light protects you this day. Let's hope it lasts. Anything else on your turn?
No, I did want to use it, but I think we kind of had to.
Yeah.
Very good. The stranger's blood begins to leak into the cracks on the floor as we move to the only rat that is able to act, and it does not. Actually, that's a really good point, because the other 2 are immobile. I think because it does say that they won't stand and fight, and I was going to do a save for them, like the moment one got killed anyway, so I'm going to say affected by a spell will count as well. They do have a save that they can make to see if it's going to continue fighting or if it's going to run away. It is going to run away. So that rat is going to withdraw. It will provoke an attack of opportunity off you, Ranger.
I will take it. And 20.
Is a hit.
Excellent. 2 points
That's
of
fine.
damage.
I'm only really asking for damage rolls just so you're getting used to what damage your characters do. You probably have worked out they only have 1 point of health. What's it like as you kill this one as it attempts to flee?
I think it's just he's flailing around. He doesn't use the sword very well, and he just happens. He's going to throw a hit. It's gonna miss, and the rat just runs straight into it, and the head comes off it.
Incredible. With a squelch, and because they're fascinated, they just stand there, right?
Yep.
They just stood there like that with their claws up, looking up at the light, their evil red eyes gleaming.
I can ask a subject, if fascinated, a single request. And it does say they don't need to understand you to be fascinated.
Okay, what is your request? You could have given it on your turn if you wish.
Be gone, vermin!
Yeah, so with the blasts of light, they are fascinated, and then in an instant, they like whip away and disappear into the darkness. The battle is done.
That was absurdly difficult for what it was.
A quiet falls upon the entry hall of the tour.
The elf will just turn around and show his mangled hand. He goes, "Ow!"
Oh, why, that looks bad. Hang on.
I'll also pick up my bow and can I retrieve arrows I've fired? Is there a
Yes, so you can
check?
give me a survival check. Depending on what you get, you will recover either all of them or half of them or none.
17.
You recover all of them.
Hey.
Very good.
Can't use my bow very well anymore. At least I've got all my arrows.
I'm looking at your hand. I'm just going, there's not much I can do for you here. And that would take a lot of care.
Fine. I'll wash it out with some water from my canteen and try and wrap it up as best I can.
It's incredibly sore. You can give me a heal check if you have it, just to see it. If there's anything bandaging it will do.
I don't have any ranks in it. I think heal is
I think you have to do it trained. I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you are right.
No, you can do it untrained.
Oh, sweet.
It was one of those where I just never remember if it's trained. Yeah, give it a roll.
15.
Yeah, you're able to bind it with some rest. You're going to be able to. That will come back.
That'll buff out.
That'll buff out. Yeah.
I am going to sacrifice one of my orisons for cure minor wounds, which is 1 hit point curing.
Very good. The light
Makes me
color
over half.
reaches you in the dark, and you are renewed a small amount.
Yeah, the nasty wound that the rat got me just closes a bit. It stops oozing out a lot of blood, but it's still Paragon rat.
Yeah. I will say to the halfling, there's a man. A strange man. I think the rat's got him. And I'll go round the pillar.
Didn't sound like rats.
You are horrified to see, and it doesn't take a heal check to learn how this man died. There's a man lying on the ground that you'd seen. A short sword protrudes from his neck.
That wasn't rats.
Did somebody stab him in the neck?
You can give me a search check.
That's my search.
21.
Very good.
I'd like to just do one anyway. I know no anywhere near as good. Oh. 10.
Oh dear.
You're just staring at him, halfling cleric. The elven ranger. You're staring at him, and you begin to search him. You find that he wears leather armor. A sling is in one hand. There is a pouch on his belt with 15 black stones in it. There is also a bottle of a faintly glowing liquid that gleams almost gold in the torchlight. There is also a scabbard that matches the short sword in the man's throat. Sorry, not hand, throat. I wonder, do you have anything in appraise, either of you two?
No.
Do
You
have
can
any-
do it untrained.
Yeah, you can do an untrained appraise check then.
Oh, 14.
You
0.
just think, what is this?
Oh.
The halfling, you look upon this and realise that this is a sword of. It doesn't, take that much to realise that this is a sword of incredibly well crafted. It is of good make indeed. You, with that roll, determined that this is a masterwork short sword.
I've seen weapons of this caliber donated to the church. This is a good sword. May serve you better than I.
Do you think you're not proficient?
It is a bit too big for me.
The elf
I would
will
take a
look at
minor
himself
two.
and then look at the halfling. He goes, I see.
The handle would be like this, as opposed to that. With a hilt.
Yeah, I'll take it all day long.
Yeah, you notice a lot of my gear seems to be customized for my height, as opposed to like a chopped down version.
There is also a journal. There is a rapidly growing crimson stain that is like that moves across like the top corner of this leather-bound volume. That blood also like congeals across like the bottle that you found, and as well as some of the stones that are on his person as well.
I'll take some of those stones. Those look like bullets.
Yeah, those actually work for a sling. The man bears a sling, and you.
As do I.
That's what he was using to strike at the goblins. Yeah, his last shot is now spent.
And I
But
shall
it was a
take.
killing shot.
Yes, I'll take them and add them to my bullets.
These are particularly well refined. Like I say, they are black. So when using these, you get a +1 to attack.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Nice.
I can't remember if I said how many there were.
15.
No, 15. Yeah.
That means my best weapon's now a sling.
Oh god. Well, that's probably for the best. We've seen what happens when we get close.
I mean, armor class of 20 is nothing against the rats.
Not the rats.
Not the rats.
Rats.
There may be more. Yep, so with this journal sling, I don't know if you want to keep his armour, but his armour's there, and the book, and the bottle.
Does the armor look just normal quality?
Standard leather armour.
Yeah. What's in the book?
You open the book, and there is a detailed account of this person arriving here. A man simply named Felix has journaled how he has been moving his way to discover secrets of an ancient kingdom that spanned this area of the world in ancient days. And that means you get to read this section, which I will read to you now. Okay, here we are. Long ago, a small but mighty humanoid kingdom existed in what is now the local wilderness. Bugbear and ogre warriors fought brutal wars of expansion, earning great fame and amassing considerable fortunes from their predations. Those who died in battle were buried in large tomb complexes dug into hillsides and honoured as patrons of the living. And among these tombs was the large tor known as the High Tower. Though it was neither the largest nor the most famous of the kingdom's tombs, it did represent a typical example of this kind of structure. As happens to all nations, the cruel humanoid kingdom eventually fell to a more powerful foe that razed all of its cities and outlying fortifications. And of the tombs, only the High Tower escaped destruction, largely because of its unimportant monument, because it was an unimportant monument in a remote location. He then gives like a more localized account of what's been happening. And and that he has been investigating around the Tor. That he first of all began trying to break into this place using an old access shaft that had been dug from above the Tor, but had found that to be unsuccessful due to its deadly depth. And that electrical storms had plagued the area in recent days, and that those bolts have been causing structural dangers within the Tor. And he says, and then you note that this is the day of your arrival here tonight. Yet another terrible storm is sweeping through the wilderness and is driving many creatures to seek shelter. I wonder if any will be driven here. Perhaps they will be able to help me. I do hope they will honour the storm peace. You can give me a knowledge check. If it's local, it will be a lower DC, but you can just give me a straight knowledge check.
What?
Oh, nice. Perfect.
That's just intelligence.
Yeah. Did you roll as well?
6.
Yeah, you understand what is meant by the storm peace. It is a tradition honoured throughout the lands. It is effectively a agreement that is upheld by travellers, adventurers, even some beast folk. The custom of storm peace evolved long ago in response to the sudden and severe storms that plague this area, and all characters native to the region would already been aware of this. But effectively, the basic concept is that an automatic truce exists between all individuals and groups who seek shelter in neutral territory during a lightning storm. In other words, it's effectively guest rights protecting everyone who honour this peace. So you can take shelter with all kinds of people you wouldn't necessarily enjoy the company of. I ask, and it was funny because this character was probably going to ask your names. And who are you, he would have asked, but that did not happen. So I think it's probably best that the two of you introduce each other as you discuss what you do next.
Do you want to go first, Mike, as I described my character first?
Yes, so the halfling before you is Archin Flintsong. We just called him Archin.
You can put it in the chat if you like, so I spell it correctly.
Of course. Archin.
Archin. Okay.
And the elf is Auticity Stillbreeze, or Otto for short, because none of the companies can say his name.
That's a great name.
Can't
Auticity.
say it. Auticity.
Auticity, Stillbreeze.
Archin Flintsong, Auticity Stillbreeze.
Auticity.
Otto for short.
Perfect. So, Archin and Auticity, you stand there in the dark. Auticity, your hand throbs with the pain of severed tendons in your fingers. What do you do?
Well, this is a fine mess we've found ourselves in, Archin.
Yes, Otto. But from what you've just mentioned in that book, there are tombs here. And if there are undead, I have to fight them. I cannot let undead exist under Perils' grace. Where better than a tomb?
No mention of undead in the book.
And I hope it is just superstition. But if there is a tomb, then there may be dark magics afoot. And Pelor would not forgive me if I ignored it. He would not forgive us.
So,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was just going to say, so we are honor bound to explore this tomb and search its depths for whatever may be hidden.
If we can confirm that this tomb has not been tainted by the Undying, then Pelor's work is done. We can sleep well through this storm. And hope that that vermin was the least of our concerns.
You can each give me a spot check, please. DC 12.
Eight.
Fingers crossed. 14.
Your eyes fall upon some of that scroll work that's like fallen from the stone pillars, and with a foot you could like kick it and it sort of like rolls open across the dusty floor, and you see a looming figure that is daubed there in very dark blood. Sorry, ink that looks like blood, maybe. And there are similar drawings in the book that you've picked up. What languages do you speak?
Common and Elven.
Common and halfling.
You don't know what the writing is beneath it, but it appears to be like a designation or a name of some kind.
Otto will point to the drawing and say, "Could that be an undead menace?"
Archie will point as well. That might be an undead menace. Because we're both thick as shit.
Thick as pig shit. Otto is going to look at both of their wounds and say, perhaps we should rest before delving further, Archie. What do you say?
Oh.
It has been a long day of running through rain.
So long as we are not assaulted by anything failing the storm piece.
Yes, we must be wary of the storm piece. Well, as you know, I don't sleep, so I can happily keep watch. Just a short. What is it? Half an hour? Do elves need or something to?
4 hours of meditation.
4 hours of meditation.
Yeah, a short 4 hours of meditation for me, so I can take the lion's share of the watch.
Yes, and I would need a full 8. But perhaps it would be worth our while indeed.
Very good. You prepare for a rest, and if by your intention you say it's a full rest, it is alarming for you to understand that this storm doesn't abate. If anything, it gets worse. The howling wind batters down upon the Tor, and then there is a cacophony of sound. Just bringing the thing back up here.
Is this part of our rest, or is like in the morning?
Coming towards the end of your rest, so you'll have successfully rested, and also, I will point out, you do get a point of your ability damage back.
Then,
Hey.
for both of us, as part of the rest, I would have cast Cure Light Wounds on both of us.
Very good.
Just to
So if
help.
you'd like to roll that as well whilst you're doing that then?
So for Dom, you get 5. And for
Back
me,
to
I
full.
get 4. Just back to full.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Very good. Yes, you feel like you feel much better after having a rest.
Yes.
In a stranger's tent.
This is a good tent. I need a tent.
Yeah, do you want to pack this up and take it with us?
I've got a backpack, so we can try and roll it down.
Let's do it. This guy's dead, so...
Yeah, Felix lies now in a rapidly drying pool of his blood, sticky upon the ground.
I feel like we would have dragged it a little further away.
Sure, okay.
Maybe closer to the wet bit. where
Maybe
the-
outside, chucked it outside, because... You know, rats.
Chucked it outside, okay.
Kicked the
Hey.
rats outside as well.
Yeah.
The rats went after him, I think.
We'll maybe dig a grave if it stops raining.
No, do whatever you want.
Maybe.
It does not take a listen check for you to acknowledge this cacophony of noise that I just alluded to. Suddenly, in conjunction with a particularly loud thunderclap, all 3 doors in this chamber break away ajar. Some of them just fall out of their hinges, revealing the way, 3 ways into the dark.
I would be lighting another torch. So that's
Yes.
it. Just to justify the light currently. I know we did that, so yes.
Yeah, similarly,
Lighting's all
I would
fine.
carry a torch. Is there any evidence of a route that Mr. Felix has already taken?
Give me a survival
Should I
check.
try? Excellent. 14.
There's evidence to suggest that Felix had tried each of the doors. There is signs of lockpicks upon the ground. Some of them intact, some of them broken from frustration. You effectively,
If we... Sorry, go on.
yeah, effectively there's 4 lockpicks there, so that effectively makes like a thieves' tool kit, but I don't know if you guys can use that, but you can still take them if you need them or want them.
Well, we might as well take it. I don't have the skill.
Neither do I.
It's worth keeping in case.
Yeah, you never know, do you?
Yeah, and they're worth something anyway, aren't they? Thieves' tools, they're
Yeah,
fairly valuable
definitely, yeah,
compared
absolutely.
to how much money we've got.
Do you want to add that to the loot?
Just so I know who's carrying what. Who's carrying the... who took the sword again? Sorry, that was...
I did. Otto.
Otto. Who took the bottle?
Oh,
I mean, I would imagine Otto did, just because
Okay.
I never said I was taking it off you, or I'd like it.
Sure.
But we've got no idea what it is, do we? So
Well, you've not checked. You've not done any checks on the bottle.
could we attempt some sort of check?
I'm going to allow either an alchemy or a religion check, actually.
This one's on you then, Archon.
15.
Yeah, you have seen the masters or rather the fathers of your order, brew such a thing, blessing it in the golden light of Pelor. This is a potion of lesser restoration.
Ooh.
Well, valuable thing.
Very valuable.
What does lesser restoration do again?
1d4 ability damage. Certain problems.
Well, yes, I do have all of this ability damage.
You would have lost 1 point.
Yeah. Would you mind awfully if I...
Pelor deems it worthy.
It does seem as if it was thrown into our path by a higher power. Says
Indeed.
So D4, is it?
Yeah, roll a d4.
Come on. Shit.
Is it d4 or d4 plus
Why is
1?
this always?
Just d4.
d4.
Well, that brings me a day closer to full.
So that's 2 points you've healed in total.
That's all
Yeah.
right. That's okay. Yeah, your hand's still a bit sore, but a golden light begins to gleam beneath the bandage that you had bound your wound in. Yeah. So
Hell's mercy.
with that, then I ask, what do you do, or where do you go? There are 3 routes open to you.
Should we try the door closest to us, Arch? So
I
that's,
can't see any other route apart from the one closest, so yes, I would say that is a sound idea.
I've walked to the other one, but I've not been through it. Do you want to take the tent with us, or should we leave it here for now?
Let's just leave it here for now. We can procure it on our way out.
Great. This door's open, isn't it? It burst open.
It is, yeah. It bursts open. It's simply ajar, but so you still need to give it a push, but it is no longer
I'll
locked.
give it a push. Corridor.
Yeah, a long
Corridor,
corridor stretches out in front of you, and I need to get the module open. Let's see.
How would you like us to proceed with movement? Should we do like roughly our
Yeah,
30 feet at a
we'll
time?
do
Is that
30 feet by 30 feet, and if oh well, you will do your movement then per. Yeah, that's a great question.
To be fair, we could do it video game style. We could just literally tap 5 foot at a time if that's.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Well, I can only go 15 feet per round,
Okay.
so
So in that case, then it will be revealed to.
Rushed image.
So Otto, you reach the end of this corridor, and really, as the text says, the room is empty save for dust and a single small stone chest in the centre of the floor. Evidently, no one has disturbed this chamber for many years. You'll note that I've added a bit of extra decoration to the room, as storm damage has brought down rocks and debris around the place.
Again, checking mainly for the integrity of the room and floor, ceiling, walls too, I guess, if we go near the walls. But can I check for safety as a trained first aider? The first thing you do when you enter a room is you check for safety.
You certainly can check for safety. Now, last time it was just a straight intelligence, wasn't it? Because you didn't have architecture, and you're not a dwarf, so you don't have stone cutting. I believe it was just a straight intelligence check then in that case.
Yeah, if it's not searching like that.
Oh, you can certainly you could do a search of the room if you prefer.
Well, it would just mean that's not negative. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do a search. Yes.
15.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, you don't really reveal anything else. I mean, it is pretty much empty, but this stone chest. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, you don't see anything else.
And the chest itself seems...
Yeah, it's stone, and it appears to be built into the ground itself. This very room appears to have this chest in mind. The chest is built. The stone chest is built into the floor and cannot be moved by the looks of it.
It's definitely a chest, not a coffin. Is my thought
Definitely
process
a
here.
stone chest.
I will turn to Otto and just... I wonder if Pelor could grant us a little insight as I grip my holy symbol of Pelor. And, blessed Pelor, please tell me, is there any malign magics here as I cast Detect Magic?
You cast Detect Magic, and Pelor's Grace assesses the area, and no light of warning returns to you. There is no magic present in this room, save for what you have brought with you. Sorry.
We don't have magic. Right.
Bear with me a second. Sorry, one
It's the
second.
most advanced spell I can do.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just when you think the game is up, there does appear to be magic. You actually refocus your efforts, and the light of Pelor appears to focus like a spotlight upon something that lies within the heart of the chest itself.
Interesting. What visions does Pelor grant Arjun?
Let me... Oh, this is going to be awful. If I focus for long enough, I can do a spellcraft check to see if I can ascertain what the school of magic is. So it would be DC 15 plus the spell level,
Okay.
or 15 plus half the caster level for a non-spell effect, to see if I can figure out the school of magic in there.
Yes, okay, very good. Bear with me one second then. So you're just going to focus on that whilst...
All of this, and I can... the roll is...
Yeah. So you focus in harder, and you know that this to be...
I have to roll.
Oh, you have to roll, do you? Oh, sorry.
Oh. I don't beat the DC of 15 plus the spell level.
But can you not just sit there and wait until it does work, or... No?
No.
No, you don't know then in that case. It doesn't appear... I mean, yeah, you just know that there's something magical in there. It doesn't seem like massively powerful. It doesn't seem like you're going to open it up and there's like a god-killing weapon inside, but there's something faint, but not dismissible in this chest.
So you said, what does Pelor grant you? I turn to you and I say, I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out then. Can we try and shift the top of the chest to open it?
Yeah, certainly. So you move to open the chest. You open the chest, and there is suddenly a wha-doom, as two fusillade darts shoot forward at both of your ACs as you are both next to the chest. Sadly, Otto, you failed the search DC check of 20 to discover the dart that were aimed at that thing. So first of all, this is to the cleric. 12 bounces off your armor. And for Otto, that's a hit.
Even that's an easy hit, yes.
So this dart slams into you, unfortunately.
Right in the head.
And that deals... Dear me. Two points of piercing damage.
Where's the darts come from? Is it inside the chest or is it?
It's actually in the
outside?
walls around it. So the walls and the floor around it. So let's see. I'll actually read the description now. The lid of the chest is unlocked, but it is connected to a trap that fires a fusillade of darts. So it's basically just like a cone of darts, and everyone in the same 5-foot square as the chest, and in every square adjacent to it or sharing a corner with it, character must be in the So basically everyone next to it. And so I imagine it comes out the floor and the walls, Indiana Jones style. And this is just vicious peppering, this fusillade of darts just. Thankfully, Archin, your armor saves you. Inside.
Oh, it doesn't. Even my good armor is just. Oh, so rip it out.
It appears that the chest contains only one item, but it is not to be sniffed at. There is a headband of some kind within, and 2 pearls. There is also a small bag containing 100 gold pieces.
We're rich, Archin.
So 2 pearls, 100 gold pieces, and a mysterious headband that emanates a mysterious power.
Shall we take a pearl each?
Yes.
50 gold.
The pearls are worth 100 gold pieces each. I'll just tell you. I don't mind just telling you that.
I've never seen such money before.
You can give me
already.
You can give me a religion check if you like.
Uh-huh. 22.
Wow.
This further confirms the purpose of this room. This is an offerings chest, and to your mind, Archin, magical items are only gifted to entities of significant reverence. There is a rolled piece of parchment that rests inside the headband, and 2 words written in common are scrawled into it: Dark Night. Night with a K.
Is this a headband of preparation?
You don't know what it's a headband of, but if you have an appraise, or you can give me a knowledge arcana roll.
I can do Arcana.
I can do a -1 to appraise.
I can do a -1 Arcana.
Oh!
Critical with a -1.
Might still not be enough.
Archie, you know, you've heard stories of these, like devout pilgrims and pious clerics of your order have borne these, as well as practice rangers in the wild when they delve into particularly evil places. This is a headband of the stout heart. This simple leather headband is studded with small iron rivets. It grants its wearer a +1 resistance bonus on all will saves. The faint abjuration is what you picked up on with your detect magic there, as abjuration is the school of resistance.
I'm going to pass this to Otto because I feel this is a gift that would work and suit your line of work.
That's very kind, but
And I think it would look good on you.
well, do make sure you're not handing everything over to me. I don't want to leave you without any.
But I am warmed by Pelor's grace.
And I in the reflected glory. But yeah, if you're happy.
What was that?
Balloons!
Hey!
Oh,
Pelor's grace.
and Yes, I have a feeling that my will save is better than yours, but I'm...
Well, yes, I suspect you're probably right. That's pretty shit.
Very good. You are able to equip this then, Otto, and it does look pretty cool. You're able to push it beneath your flowing elven locks. It rests neatly upon your pointed ears.
I think he has it like headband like this, and the hair's coming out like this. So it's like like the hard kid at school.
I love it.
In all those sort of 80s.
I absolutely love it.
Nice.
The room, other than that, does not appear to give any clue to anything else. You are confident that you have cleared it.
If this is an offerings room, then who or what they were offering to must lie deep within.
But on the plus side, that's one room without any undead menace in it, so one mission accomplished.
Son of Mercy smiles upon us for this. We have earned our dried meat today. Our rations will taste as sweet as honey. Though there's a little bit of a twitch in Archer's eyes when he says that.
Love dried meat.
The yawning corridor beckons you back into the main chamber then.
Well, who are we to resist?
And you return. The campfire still crackles. More heartily than when you'd arrived, so that's something, at least that gives you small comfort. Two doors remain of this main chamber. There's the one that leads to the very north, and there's one that leads to the west.
These statues, what are they of?
You can give me a history check.
15.
You see that these are strange in their features. They look humanoid, but their faces appear to be contorted. Great. You can see where there were like tusks once coming out of their mouths, but that has been like weathered away and eroded in time. You remember reading the journal that this was like a kingdom of like beastmen, and this maybe looks like a higher form of these creatures from long days when perhaps bugbears and their kin were of a greater intelligence than they are like thought of now.
Dear.
So that's your door there on the north, and then there's another to the west.
What do you say, Otto?
Well, if they have any sense of balance, then there should be a smaller room here, equal in size to the other side.
I trust you, but could you just slow down for a second? I'm struggling to keep up with you again.
Oh yes, sorry. Off he starts doing his running backwards and forwards thing like an excited dog.
Okay, right.
Very good, yes. The door, this one blasted ajar as well. You see like there's faint crackles of electricity that buzz off it like slightly, though it doesn't look like it's going to harm you. Obviously, the storm was violent in its breaking of this way forward.
Still poke it open with the fire brand rather than brand.
Very good.
Well,
Yeah, you see a similarly lengthed corridor on this side of the tour, the ruins rather beneath the tour.
Otto would say, look out for flying darts, Archie.
Yeah, so you move through, and you enter here, and the only object of interest in this chamber is a statue at the far end, which you can see there at the top. It resembles a sarcophagus standing upright, except that the head of the figure carved upon its lid looks distorted. This head appears to have tendrils instead of hair. A pair of bat-like wings extends from its temples. And then suddenly its eyes open, revealing the glow of green flames, and the head flies forward to attack. And that is where we're going to take a very short break, and we shall also introduce what we are doing tonight, because we didn't really do an introduction. Hello and welcome to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob, and I'm joined by my intrepid players Dom and Mike. And yeah, as you can see, we are enjoying playing the classic module from the 3rd edition era called Dark and Stormy Night. We're going to be doing some of these whilst we're waiting for our adventuring party to be at full strength. So we're going to be exploring the hidden treasures in the history of our favourite hobby. And what better place to start than Dark and Stormy Night, a very, very fondly looked upon adventure. And I will give credit to the designer Owen K.C. Stevens. And I thought the author's name was on here, but it doesn't appear to be, so I will have to get back to you on that. But for those of you watching live, thanks ever so much for dropping by. Don't forget you can spend boons that you earn by watching to convert them into bones to give our players an advantage. They sure as hell need it. I haven't actually changed the viewer rewards, I've just realised, so if you give them inspiration, it will probably come up as Bracken and Conrad from our previous game, but we'll know what you mean. And if you're watching after that, give this video a like and give us a subscribe if you'd like to see more of this, because there will certainly be more of these this series that we're deciding to call Let's Dig Up. Instead of Let's Play, Let's Dig Up, because we're Roll the Bones and we dig up bones. And we're digging up modules and legacy material. With all of that said, we are now going on a very short break, and we will return ever so shortly. Don't go away to find out what happens to Archie and Otto as they are beset by a flying head. Don't get ahead of yourself, boys. We'll be right back. We have returned, and both Archin and Otto are horrified to see that the head of this sarcophagus springs alive, its bat-like wings on its temples spreading wide as it launches forward. It doesn't say this in the module, but the clear intention is for this monster to surprise the heroes, the adventurers. So it has a hide check, and I think it's going to do that against a spot check from you both. If either of you beat the hide check, then none of you will be surprised. I think that's fair to say, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll the hide first. So I don't mind telling you. You might have noticed, dear viewers, I'm rolling everything publicly. I wanted to run this module as scientifically as I could to see what it would be like. So I'm rolling all rolls going for other players. And they get +9 to hide. 18 is the number to beat on a spot check. Just one of you needs to beat it.
No.
So your modifier is +6. And his is +6. I'm going to say that counts as a draw, so let us roll off.
Well, his is +9 actually, isn't it? If we're going to be...
Oh, it is?
honest.
No, fair enough. You're absolutely right. Right. There is a surprise. So, for what is about to happen... Forgive me. Let's see. terrible creature throws its wings wide as it detaches itself from the crevice that it has buried itself into. You can each give me a knowledge arcana check to see if you know what this creature is, first of all.
Knowledge religion? Does that have to be arcana?
Please.
Oh. 8.
3.
You have no idea what this thing is. Its jaw, it's basically just this head with bat-like wings on its temples that keeps it aloft. It has like tentacle-like hair, and its eyes glow with a green fire. Its mouth distends, its jaw unlatches to throw out a terrifying maw of a mouth, and it gives a terrifying shriek. Please roll a fortitude saving throw, DC 12. Do make it good.
Both of us.
Both of you.
It's my worst save. Ah, shit.
Oh! One off.
Oh no. Can you, one of you can decide which, can roll 2d4, please.
Go on, mate.
Okay. Four.
You are both paralysed for 4 rounds.
What? This is it?
Wow.
This is
DC
it?
12. 4 rounds. So it gives out a shriek. Each creature within 60 feet, except other creatures like it who hear the shriek and clearly see the creature, must succeed on a DC 12 fortitude save or be paralyzed with paralyzed with fear for 2d4 rounds.
Oh, that's slightly less bad.
So you're not right. Gotcha. It's the mind affecting fear effect, not paralyzed. You're not paralyzed.
Oh! If it's fear, I get +2 against fear, so I would have passed that.
Ah.
So, so it is as the fear spell. I do apologise, you are panicking, as if cowering if you failed. So you aren't actually paralysed. You succeed then in that case.
I get +2 versus fear.
So, Otto, unfortunately, you are driven into a cowering state for 4 rounds. However, Archin, there's something that it intervenes almost, because I think we suddenly realise the difference in effects there. So I think that's like some kind of intervention, perhaps. How do you resist this power, this shriek?
Oh, it shrieks, and for a moment, all of Arch just holds still, frozen in place. And then there's just like a warm glow that just comes from behind, as if saying, "You can move, take a step forward." And Archin just feels this comfort, just gently releasing that locking in his muscles. He goes, "You're right. Not today. You have my back."
Very good. That is its turn, and we go into initiative. So we knock off 1 round of fear for the surprise round, because that's surprise round. And now we go to the top of the round, which is Otto. So you are cowering, which means the character is frozen with fear and takes no action. So cowering character takes a -2 penalty to armor class and loses their dexterity bonus, if any. Okay?
Cool.
I'm also going to sort the music out because something weird happened with it. So you're, that's what has affected you. You can't take any actions, unfortunately. And frozen in fear. It says take no action, so I guess that means move actions as well. So you're just stuck there, I'm afraid.
No
Unless you interpret that differently, but I think that's what that means.
I think cowering is pretty clear.
Archon, it's your turn as this terrifying creature spreads its wings, ready for some other devilry, but it is your turn.
Well, I don't think I've got anything to help with panic or fear, unfortunately. Like this, it's its own head. It doesn't look like it's a skull or...
It just looks like a head. It looks like a head.
Head
It looks kind of like
head on a stick.
Like a helmet almost. Like it obviously looked like the top of the sarcophagus, but yeah, it's obviously yeah, it's a head. I can't really.
Okay. I mean, can I just do like a very quick religion check just to confirm, is this undead?
You cannot do a religion check because, well, I'll tell you what. Go on then.
19.
This does not fall into any kind of category that you feel you'll have like an advantage over with your power. Put it that way.
I've never studied such
It's not undead.
creatures.
It's not undead. It's clearly alive and clearly wants you to be not.
Just checking. Just because it's so horrid. Well. I will drop my torch. And I will pull a sling out.
Okay.
And then I will use my final action to load the sling. I think this thing can fly. I don't think there's going to be any benefit from me getting in the way.
Oh, so you actually have to like physically load it with an action and then... Wow.
It's a move round to load a sling.
Okay, good to know.
Sorry, standard action. Standard or move, but if I take...
That's fine, okay. Well, if you don't move, you could load it with your movement and then attack.
Yeah, but I had to pull it out from mine.
Okay, yeah.
I had to
fair enough.
equip the
Yeah,
sling.
that's a very fair point. Very good.
And I'm not skilled enough yet to take a movement and draw a weapon. Because if you've got a +1 bonus base attack, you can move and unsheath a weapon. I do not.
Cool. Well, in that case, the creature will look at you hungrily as it comes round to its turn, realizing that its power has only affected one of you, and will very much want to immobilize any remaining threats. So, with a single beat of its wings, it flies to here. Its terrible bat-like wings, like beating stale air towards you, and it opens its distended mouth, and it goes to give you a savage bite. But you defend yourself with your shield. The thing sort of like bats its wings to sort of like maintain its hovering position in front of you, also threatening you. That is its turn. Otto, it's your turn. Another tick. So that's surprise round.
Say
this
no
one. So
action.
that's
Save
two.
yourself.
That's 2 where you've been cowering. Archin, it is your turn.
I will take a free 5-foot step in front of Otto. Then, remembering the days of young where I would use my sling as sport, I will throw a masterwork bullet at this.
Very good. Roll it up.
22.
Oh my god, the shot is true. It hurtles through the air, smashing into this creature.
It's masterwork, not a plus. It is masterwork, isn't it?
Masterwork.
It's not a +1. So that means it only goes on the attack roll.
Yes.
3!
There's a
3
resounding
point damage.
crack. This clearly hit it right on the side of its forehead, and it goes with another beat of its wings. It gives a cry, but
I will reload as my move action. Just
you already did a 5 foot step. You
That's
can't do a
right.
free 5 foot step and then do a movement action.
so no reloading. Okay.
You can't do a 5 foot step and a movement, can you?
Good point. Yeah.
And also get that attack. So unfortunately, you aren't able to. It will beat its wings, and yeah, it seems that there's some courage upon you, Archin. That seeing as you've resisted its power, you are no longer affected. You feel like confidently for 24 hours. It soars towards you with another vicious biting attack. But again, bang! Your attack bounces. Its attack bounces from your defences as it sort of hurtles down at you once again. We're back to the top of the round. Otto, that is number 3 of 4.
Get away, Archin! Run!
Run! That was your turn, Archin. It's your turn.
Well, I will go 5 foot step to here, and then I will use another movement to load. So I just tuck a bullet into the sling.
You do so, and it is going. It's confident that it will be able to keep driving you away into the corner of this thing. Like it thinks it's got you rattled, so it's going to repeat what it's been doing. Because why wouldn't it? It swoops in. Possibly a critical. It dives in, its teeth sinking into you, Archin.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just shy. Oh no, you don't have your shield, do you?
I do.
Whilst you're using a sling?
Sling's one-handed to fire. It's only 2 when you're loading it.
You're loading it.
I loaded it as part of my move on the...
Okay. Alright. So that isn't a critical, that is just a hit.
I don't mind. It's your call. You can say
No,
my shield
you're
is-
right. You spend your turn doing it, so no, that's fine. I wouldn't hold it against you, so that's okay. It is going to bite you, however. Its teeth sinks into your flesh. 4. For 2 points of piercing damage. And it gives like a satisfied hiss as your blood begins to pool at your feet. That is its turn. We're back to the top of the round. Otto. I believe that's you.
Is that not the last round of...
Oh yeah, you do count it, don't you? 4. Done. So, Archon, it's your turn.
5 foot step back. Sling!
You hurl the rock, and it hurtles through the air.
21.
Again, a success. It slams into it.
1 damage.
It gives another hiss. There's like a crack in it now, and it's almost like you can see green fire at the very core of the skull that's floating there, or the head that's floating there, rather. Excellent move. That was your turn. It's its turn. It's going to pursue you. giving no heed to Otto at this time. It is singly motivated to try and hurt the thing that's hurting it. It makes sense. Oh, you just managed to bring the shield high as it slams against your defences. That is its turn. We're back to the top of the round. Otto, you are back in the action.
Free. Otto's about to tell Archon to run again. He's like, wait a second. I can help.
You are heartened
I'm gonna
with courage.
turn, take a 5-foot step, and then can I ready a longbow shot for when Archon moves back?
Yes. Yes, you can.
So that I'm not in danger of hitting him.
Yep, so you ready a longbow shot. It is Archon's turn.
I will take a 5-foot step back.
Otto, your readied action triggers. Loose.
18.
Is a hit.
That's a relief. It'd be really shit if I missed that. 6 points of damage as that arrow flies 5 feet in the air.
It's 2 more than you needed. Just tell me how you destroy the lesser Vargul in an act of vengeance.
I think Archon stumbles backwards. It's about to sweep in for another bite, and then out of nowhere, the arrow flies through, getting it through the side of one head, fires out the other, and it just drops to the floor with a swatch.
There's like a green fire that burns at its core, and then vroom, erupts into just broken pieces. Congratulations! Yeah, you've defeated the lesser Varguil. Or Guil, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll show you it later. Excellent. That was very satisfying that you snap out of it at the last second and take the killing blow. A silence falls upon this chamber. The sarcophagus stands there now without a head.
See, Perils' light reached you there.
Eventually.
I'm going to burn away 2 orisons to cast Cure Minor Wounds, so I cure 2 hit points.
Very good.
Can we check the sarcophagus? Or
Yeah, you do. And it actually states that you just find this lying there, no check required. Within a pile of dust, whatever was within the sarcophagus has long since just disintegrated with the creature's influence being there, the corruption of this beast caused the body that was in this sarcophagus to wilt away, hence why it was able to take its position there. You find that there is a ring resting in the ashes.
no, it's mine. I'll show it to Archon, and can we both attempt to identify it using our meager skills?
Yeah, so you can give me an impress or read magic will work, yes?
I used it to heal, so...
Oh, okay. Well, you can give me a knowledge check of some kind. Let me see. No, it has to be knowledge arcana for that. Knowledge arcana or appraise or whatever governs appraise. I think it's just intelligence, right?
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight intelligence then, if needs be.
6.
10.
You don't really understand what this ring will do, but it's clear that it offers some power. Though what that power is, difficult to tell just looking at it.
Well, I've gained quite a lot so far, so would you like to take that one, Archon?
Oh, well, thank you.
He tosses it.
Let me just scramble and pick it up. Archon will just put the ring on. It's just, okay. Go.
Put the ring on, and you feel that there is kind of like a level of like clarity and understanding that falls upon your countenance. You feel like you have just come to the end of a particularly riveting book, or you've given a particularly inspirational prayer at mass on the morning of prayer.
My prayers were legendary.
Did do a great pray.
Well, don't know what it's done, but I feel good. It's nice.
Good.
Very good.
Who knows?
And what do you do now?
I'm assuming there's nothing else in the room.
There is nothing else further in the room.
You're standing on me, Otto.
Anywhere near you.
Ow!
Get off me.
Were.
Okay. Okay, so with this room completed, the corridor beckons you back to the central chamber, and of course, the last remaining way, the way ahead, the way north, the way that you had been journeying all this time through the storm. Feels like something beckons you here.
I would have picked up my torch. Should have said that.
As you're sort of like lifting your torch, Archon, as you move back into the chamber, you're noticing, you remember how I mentioned near the top there's those, the top of the adventure, that scroll work that is like adorning the walls and has fallen away and stuff. Now, as you walk past, incredibly, you can read it. You look to your hand and see that the ring that you are wearing has given you understanding of languages.
Cool.
You know Goblin,
Look at that.
which allows you to read the
Well.
language that is there. There is also another language that is there in anticipation. In other words, whoever wears this ring can choose the other language you understand. The choices include Abyssal, Aquan, Auran, Draconic, Dwarven, Giant, Goblin, already got that, Ignan, Infernal, Orc, and Terran.
Do I have to decide it now, or...?
You can decide it at a later date if you like, but once you've decided it, that locks it in effectively. So you know.
I would
Goblin.
imagine at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now that you understand that, you see like that there's great swaths of this text that you now understand.
I can read this. It may not be undead. It is Goblin.
You know that this place, after reading this text, now serves not only as a resting place for almost like a patron of the beasts, the bugbears and the beastmen that battled here long ago. You learn that this is indeed the resting place of a figure of legend known as the Dark Knight. A terrifying beast, creature adorned in armor. You see held aloft now, like you see other pictures of him, like from working out like what this means. You note that there's like symbols that match in the journal that you found earlier, and see that like Felix has been doing more work on this, and you can see that this creature is holding aloft like a terrifying looking star above his head, a black cloak thrown high in the breeze of battle. This Dark Knight appears to be like of goblin ilk of some kind, like a hero leading the horde against the kingdoms that it brought to its knees long ago in this central realm. The door ahead of you is, like the others, blasted ajar by that massive thunderclap. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's something else that you learn as well. You actually see that there is like ancient scrawlings in the journal of Felix. That now you can read it because he's just copied down like rumors and stuff that he's heard like on his tales and journeys outside of this place. And you're able to determine that this tour was once sealed by a great stone, and then up until recently, a great blast of lightning blasted that stone away, and that. For that reason is why this place is like relatively untouched, other than the odd intruder that arrived before you. This huge stone, and that explains why there was so much rubble outside. Otto did do a check to see if he could determine that, but sadly didn't roll high enough.
Wow. So this creature, this Dark Knight.
Sounds undead.
He does sound undead.
We should be
Hello,
sure.
guide us.
Pelor guides your hand to the remains of that door there. You see a particularly long corridor just dart away into the darkness. It is particularly long and particularly narrow.
Slow down.
Yeah, Archie, you're really having to struggle to keep up with Otto for a moment as this path seems to go on and on and on and on. Rather strange, but it's how the dungeon is laid out. Such a long corridor uses so much space on a table. But
Something
then
up ahead, Archie.
there is something ahead, and if you'd like to pause there, thank you. I will read what you see. After wandering down this terrifying corridor that's dank and dark, like pools of water come from running currents, the ceiling leaking. Let's see what we have to say about this area. You can give me a history or religion check, the both of you, as you enter.
Religion.
I'll do a stupid check. 0.
9.
Okay. The long stone. It's just to see if you. This is just to see if you get anything extra. Sadly, you don't, but you do get the description because you have eyes. The long stone hall ends, or rather, the long stone corridor ends in a stone chamber furnished only with cracked, mouldering tables on which lie rusted implements of iron. Rain falls into the middle of the room from a shaft in the ceiling that must run all the way to the top of the tor. And looking up, you see that it goes all the way up. You see lightning arcing and illuminating this space every now and then. From the bottom of the shaft dangles a rope, swinging slightly. A drain in the centre of the floor allows the water to escape, but old, dark stains suggest that it was used to carry away other fluids long ago. And yeah, that lightning, like you can see all the way up to the top of the tor, and that rope, you remember seeing in Felix's journal that there was notes about robbers at some point trying to bury their way down here. This, it seems, is perhaps as far as they got. The
Can we,
flashes again and illuminates the room again. Sorry, go on.
using the lightning, can I search the room?
Yeah, you can search the room. Where do you go to in the room?
Well, just step into the room first of all.
Okay.
Just so I can get a good look in the corners, and the
I'll
cracks
step in
and
with
the
you.
crevices. Can I start on the sort of? I want to start on the outside and work in, if that makes sense, in a sort of
I
check
understand.
the
Yeah, you can
walls
give me
and-
a search check then.
17.
Very good. And Archin, I will accept a knowledge religion as well for what Otto finds.
11.
Otto, you're looking amongst the ruins, and I mentioned those iron tools. You cast your eye over them, and as a ranger, your bread and butter, or your venison, you might say, is hunting. And these look akin to hunting materials that would be used to dress the carcass of fallen animals. But Archin, as you take a look at it, you give a brief look at it, and you understand these to be like embalming tools, tools that you would use to prepare the dead, only they appear to be almost akin to hunting tools, such as the barbarism of the creatures that would use them. Stripping back hide, skinning the dead, effectively, and removing their organs and all sorts. The blood stains upon the floor are apparent as to what actually happened in this room long ago. Some madly savage act would occur here with those that were buried in the Tor. You can also give me a DC 15 climb check, not to do a climb, but to see if you can ascertain something.
Okay.
Both of us?
Both of
A
you.
bit harder. Oh,
13.
23. Natural 20.
You know that you could do a continued climb. It would have to be at that rate consistently, and eventually you could get out from here to the top of the Tor, which you just know is a blasted ruin. However, you do understand that you will be climbing for some time. In your mind, close to folly, but it isn't impossible. Effectively,
So I'd have
DC
to
15
effectively.
a few times to get out.
Not worth it.
Potentially, yes. It would be a very difficult climb, but not impossible. Is there anything else you do here?
I'd like to inspect the drain, I suppose. That seems like the next natural
Very good.
thing.
You move
Get too
closer
close,
to the
right.
drain.
Okay. That's probably reasonable.
You can hear without any check whatsoever the spluttering of water gurgling down like the rusted iron of this thing, and you just see the twisted, dark stains surrounding it. There doesn't appear to be anything of note, but you can give me a listen check, please.
Another natural 20.
Couldn't be that if I tried.
Yeah, Otto, above the gurgling, you hear a... The door in front of you opens, and you see two figures standing there in the darkness. Two figures with brilliant red eyes are staring at you from the darkness.
Otto will cry out, Archin! An ambush! Let fly! Let fly!
The lightning arcs over once again, and it illuminates them, and you see like the husk-like features of living creatures that are snarling, their jaws wide with anticipation, saliva running down their chops. You do not need to do a check to understand that two brutally well-armored hobgoblin raiders stand in front of you. Another flash of lightning as they move towards you. Roll initiative.
Oh,
Beat you by 1.
yeah. Our plan is coming together with this improved initiative we both took.
Very wise indeed. So who got the highest?
I did.
Archie.
Yeah,
Then Otto.
indeed.
Then Archie, you see these feral horrors like stalking towards you. It's something out of a nightmare. Like you've just heard stories of these creatures in the wild, and then all of a sudden, through an open doorway, they stand, moving towards you with anticipation, with hunger. What do you do?
Dropping my torch as a movement action, I shall draw my morning star.
Your torch
And then-
splutters out as it falls into the water on the ground.
Never mind. I have others. And then, as a standard action, I shall raise my morning star up. I shall look upon it, gripping my holy symbol. Hello, grant me your favour so I can smite these evil foes as I cast upon myself divine favour.
Divine favour, very good. Okay, that is Archie's turn, yes?
It is.
Very good. As Pelor's light, almost like there's a glint above the hole that like looms high above you. There is a flash of light that dawns upon you, arching from the sky above, despite the storm. We move to Otto.
Yeah, Otto will race back to stand by, or just behind Archon, and can't see from there. Fuck. Oh, there. God damn it. Next to him, I guess.
I can just make out like an eyes. I don't know where exactly they are, but I know there are eyes there.
They're through the door. Can I see them from there if I can't see them on the map, Rob?
What's your vision range?
I've got low light vision, 30 feet, I think.
So with the torch, you get 20, and then 20 in dim, and you have dim at that range. So you would need to do a 5-foot step to see them properly.
So I need to be there. Okay, well, I'll stop.
And now they actually become visible on the map when you do that. So
Yeah.
do you not see them where you are there?
I do there, but not if I take 5 foot
There
step,
we are,
so
then.
it's working.
Perfect. Good to know.
Yeah, and as he said, Otto will let fly arrows, or one arrow, I guess. 17.
Your arrow streaks forward towards them. 17 is a hit. Which one were you going for? One on the left or the right?
The one directly ahead of me, I think, makes sense. to-
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I just realised I need to get on there on this map too. Perfect. Yeah, the arrow soars out and slams into it.
A mere 1 point of damage. That's dreadfully bad luck.
It's a glancing strike, and the feral creature's eyes are wide with hatred as like the arrow goes through it, and then it licks part of its blood off its arm and uses it to feed its hunger. It then will then push forward because now it's their turn. 5:30 is going to. This one's going to rush to here. Splashing through the water, again illuminated, like it's suddenly dark and then bright again as the lightning flares up, and then suddenly he's far closer to you than you realised, Archie, as a javelin hurtles towards you. It goes for your armor class. You have your shield up, yes?
Oh yes.
That's good. A 9. It soars past you and slams into the wall next to you. Maybe it glances off your shield, but you didn't have to do too much to evade that, thankfully. But that's its turn. This one you know what? I hate to be dull, but it makes sense for him to do the same. So he's gonna rush to there, and is gonna hurtle a javelin at you, Otto, returning fire.
Yep, 16 AC.
That is a hit. I don't know why I did that on the main round one. We'll do. You take 5 points of piercing damage as this javelin hurtles towards you and slams you square in the shoulder.
Otto staggers back and is almost dropped to a knee with the damage of that. He's
Oh my god.
bucked.
Oh god. But that is their turn. We're back to the top of the round. Arching, you watch as javelin misses you, and then you watch as your comrade in arms takes a javelin to the chest almost. What do you do?
Like, it looks like the javelin's almost gone completely through Otto.
It probably has.
Yeah, it probably did, yeah.
And Archin will not do what he's going to do, and instead I will drop one of these as I invoke, as I reach over, as I touch you with my Morning Star and just channel and say, "Not today, Otto. Not today," as I cast Cure Light Wounds.
You
Oh,
cast
that's very
Cure Light Wounds.
Oh. For 3.
Well,
3 points.
it's still good. It's still good. It takes me off 1 hit point.
It is difficult for Pelor's light to reach you in this dark and stormy place. Perhaps this is a reckoning for you, Archin. Perhaps your power, or rather your father in light's power, is reached its end. That is your turn, Otto. Oh, sorry, Archin. Otto, it's your turn.
Yeah, Otto's gonna have to,
Behind me!
yeah, get behind into the corridor. To be fair, I could stay out of range of it. Attacking me in combat. That feels a bit harsh. I'll go to the... We need to stay close, don't we? I'll go to here. And loose another arrow at the Hobgoblin in front of me.
Very good.
11. Not good.
11 soars over him, and it clatters into the wall behind him. I realised it didn't... you got a single point of damage on him before, wasn't it? It was 1.
Yeah,
Like, wrote that weird.
unfortunately.
It's definitely 1, yeah. Yeah, so it watches the arrow go over it, and it goes and snarls with glee. But the hobgoblins aren't like their lesser cousins, as they would have them called in their own tongue. In fact, you probably hear them snarling orders to each other, Archin, as you have recently adopted their language with that ring on. We shall divide them, and then divide their flesh. They laugh at each other, barking like feral animals before they initiate a devastating maneuver. Hobgoblins are nothing if not tactical in the way that they fight. So this one will move and strike out at you, Archin.
20.
With a vicious-looking curved short sword. Oh! How do you just defend yourself as that vicious curved short sword is just prevented?
Oh, I go to defend, I don't realise how curved that short sword is, and just at the last second I just bring my shield closer to me just to account for that. Bang around again.
This one knows has already going along with its friend's plan. So as you bring your shield to defend this way, this one lands here and makes use of your undefended flank. He gets the flank on you, and he will strike with a vicious curved blade. He gets a +2 to his attack now, so that is now a +4. He attacks, possibly a critical.
No.
Bam! The
This is not what we needed.
vicious looking blade just cuts into your flesh through your defenses. Let us see if it is a critical. It is just a hit. But the blade does its work. 4. Same as the javelin, actually. 5 points of slashing damage as it cuts through your defenses, Archin. Like a long line of blood just like goes out in a rainbow arc across the battlefield as like it rushes forward and just shunk, like cuts through you as it moves by. That is their turn. Archin.
Pelor stands for all that is right. But I cannot deliver this message if I die.
Amazing.
Love it.
5.
It's an interpretation of Pelor's text.
Oh, I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to provoke 2 attacks of opportunity.
They will gladly take it now. Because you are currently flanked right now, I believe, even though you're leaving, I believe they get the bonus. I'm not trying to make it up though. That is right, isn't it?
I'm about to leave, so I haven't actually moved yet.
Okay.
Given the indication I'm turning around.
Let us pray to Pelor. As the first attack goes for a 17. That's with the flanking bonus, by the way, just so you're aware. And again. How do you save yourself as they both lunge for attacks of opportunity at you at the same time, Archin?
There's no grace here. I dive onto my shield, using it as a form of springboard to slide me underneath their attacks as I dive. Go
Surf.
5, 10,
Surf to
15
safety.
to there, thinking we need cover here.
As you fall through the, remember, there's water on the floor, you're kicking up water and blood, as you're wading out back into the corridor, you make your way back. What do you do now?
As I shout to Otto, flee! I lose my final level 1 spell
Oh my god!
to heal myself. As I drop my last spell to bring another. Oh, cure light wounds. 6.
The light of Pelor shines upon you, but you feel like the sun is setting. How much more power can its light grant you?
I have no more healing or spells.
Whoa! That's insane!
Fucking hell. Level 1, man.
Level 1, and
Level
there's
1.
only 2 of you. There was meant to be 3. There was meant to be 3 of you. Oh dear. My god. With that then, that is Archer's turn. Otto. There's one that is slightly wounded in front of you. The other is
Slightly,
untouched.
yeah. I'll take a 5-foot step away, and I can't just abandon Archer. I could just run for it, but I'm gonna. We can hold them in the corridor, right?
Lower the flank.
Yeah, and I'll fire an arrow at the closest one.
Yep.
For now. Oh, fuck's sake.
Your arrow shoots and he ducks at the last second and the arrow just bounces off its pauldron. Anything else?
I've got nothing else I can do.
You didn't free fight for the step, did you? Or did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, you
So I'd
did?
have to-
Oh, okay. Then yeah, unfortunately so then.
The whole map went green. Couldn't see anything, it's in green.
Very good. Nice. Well, you see red before you now as the hobgoblins advance. Now we'll go with this one first. It's going to pursue the halfling. And in its tongue that you now know, Archin, you hear one word and understand it. Flesh. It swings its vile blade at you. It's just got its normal attack bonus now. Rolls a 2, we're done. You easily parry the strike, Archin. This one is going to follow up. And it's going to try and run you through, Otto. And it attacks you for 11. How do you dodge aside in this narrow corridor?
He just he throws up his bracer, the bark bracer on his wrist, and just catches the blade, knocks it aside.
Just parries it aside. There's just this desperate struggle now, like in this narrow corridor. There's snarling and roaring. There's the flash of blades as like they spark against the wall as they like swing for you and miss. That is their turns. We're back to the top of the round. Archin.
I'm going to attempt to hit the guy in front of me with a Morning Star.
You attempt to hit the guy in front of you with a Morning Star.
21. What does a Morning Star critical on? I think it's just 20.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I'm Googling it now.
Look. $20. Very good. It is a hit, however.
That's a shame. It is. 4. Divine Favour granted me maximum damage.
Yes!
7 damage. As
What is
Pelor
it like?
guides my Morning Star.
What is it like as Pelor guides your Morning Star to kill it as you drop it to 0?
There is a moment of just in Archin's eyes as he restored his power. Like, there's just his faith, seeing his wounds close, just going, I am at your back. And I look at the spell I cast earlier on my weapon and go, yes. Pelor fights against all that is evil. And just there's a jumping smash into its head.
Incredible, and it like it you hear like a crack, and there's almost like a glimmer of light as like he falls back, utterly like laid low by the star in your hand. Very good. That was your turn, Archin. Unless you want to move, you struck. Do you want to move?
1. I will actually. I hit and I just charge forward, so 5, 10, 15.
The tables have turned.
Yes.
As
I swing behind.
you duck beneath like another strike that goes from the other hobgoblin. Again, it goes wide and like sparks fly as its blade hits the black stone. As you finish your turn to move, Otto, it's now your turn, and you see that your ally has taken up a flanking position. What do you do?
Yes, and spotting this advantage to be taken, Otto drops his bow, draws his new masterwork short sword,
Amazing.
and swings it with a +2 for the flanking bonus for 19 to hit.
Is a hit.
And 3 points of damage.
You wound it deeply. It goes a hiss as like you drive your blade into it. Black blood rolls down its body, but it still lives. Anything else?
No, that's a move action and a standard action, so
That's its turn. It sees the writing on the wall here. It's going to provoke 2 attacks of opportunity.
we'll take him.
Yeah, we
I
will.
bet. 21.
10.
21 is a hit. 10 is not. As it attempts something, go ahead.
4.
It will go to lunge, and its intention is to seize Archin, to like try and drag him in front of him, to use him as a human shield, effectively, or a halfling shield, a half shield. He goes to grab hold of him. However, Otto, what is it like as your strike lands true and you send him to the darkness that waits?
So previously drew the sword and like brought it in a great slash, and at the like upswing of the end of the slash, he reverses his grip, flicks it in the air, and brings it straight down, just straight through the trapezoid muscle of the thing into its chest.
It gives like a long shudder, and like it takes like a few lurching steps sideways, and then it collapses into the ruins of the table, and with a clatter and a low gasping, rumbling breath as it dies slowly. Congratulations, you defeated the Hobgoblin Raiders.
That was spicy. Oh my god.
I knew Pelor had our back.
Lightning.
Glad you did. I was 1-0.
Incredible.
I got to 2 off, but I'm almost back to full with my heal. Unfortunately, I've ran out of every single spell. I have nothing in the tank.
I'm sure nothing else will accost us. Shall we search the corpses?
Yes.
Maybe make a hasty retreat back to the tent.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what they have. You don't need to search them because there's nothing concealed on them. They both wear studded leather armor. They both bear a light shield, though they weren't equipped at the time, because they want to throw a javelin and then have their sword ready. There's also a rather interesting item upon their person. You can give me a knowledge arcana or a appraise check on a particular item here.
It's the same. 14. Knowledge arcana.
12 appraise.
Archin, you are successful in learning what this is, and it's something that is actually quite common, again, weirdly, in people that take pilgrimages and also people that adventure in the wilds. You have found a priceless piece of treasure.
Oh.
A lifting belt.
Like a weightlifting belt.
This heavy leather kidney belt features brass studs and large buckles on both sides. Anyone wearing it gains a +1 enhancement bonus to strength for the purposes of determining your carrying capacity. The belt,
so useful.
something that we don't use. The belt does not alter the wearer's actual strength score, nor does it change his strength modifier. This effect does not stack with that provided by any other bonus to strength. I will say, however, that I think if you have a good enough reason, I will say that you could lift things. Like, say if you found like a heavy thing that was in your way, you could use the lifting belt and have like a +1 enhancement bonus to that strength check. It is worth, as I imagine you'll probably want to sell it, 500 gold pieces, because it is technically enchanted with bull strength.
Wow. There's no point giving this to a small character. Even if with strength, I can't hold barely anything. So
Put it in the loots.
it is in the shed.
I should have said that the ring that you got is 400 gold pieces as well.
Oh,
Let me know if you want the worth of any of the other stuff we've discussed later on. Other than that, the room does not provide anything else of of interest. However, upon searching their person more, you note that there are roughly scrawled orders in Goblin that now reveal themselves to you, Archin, as you gaze at them. Let's see where it says it. Where is it? So, there was a description, or rather orders, to scout the area, to give no heed to the storm piece, and establish a brigand camp here. These hobgoblins were an advance force to scout this area for the purposes of establishing it for other hobgoblins and other interested parties.
Scouts. Well, a greater mount may be on their way.
Yeah, I suppose we shouldn't wait too long.
There's no harm in looking.
No harm.
Fortunately, the dead don't seem to be rising, which is
That is
or
really
whatever gesture sun points.
Can I try and retrieve my arrows?
Yes, please, a survival check. DC 15, you will retrieve your arrows. DC 12, you will retrieve half of them. Lower than that?
No.
None. Yeah, your arrows are ruined by like the water, like it's like wet and defletching, and another's like smashed on the impact of the wall when you fired your first shot that glanced him.
I'm gonna light another torch.
Yeah, you're a torch also, yeah, and he's absolutely. Yeah, looking up, you see absolutely all the way up. You can see through the top of the tor. It would provide no defensive capability whatsoever. It's just like a smashed ruin on top of this thing, serving as a crown on top of this dark kingdom that you've entered. The doorway that was opened by the raiders is left open to you, and you note that that long corridor appears to continue into the darkness. And that darkness beckons you deeper and deeper and deeper. The air around you appearing to be getting more stale and colder. Until at last, as you reach that position there, you note that the corridor appears to like dip off into the eastern end of the dungeon.
Can I try and creep forward?
Yeah, certainly you can do a move silently check.
I don't want to come across anything particularly, so...
I'll wait here.
19.
Yeah, 19 is really good. Yeah, fantastic. You see that there is a large chamber ahead and a passageway that goes off to the right.
Yep, that looks creepy AF, but there
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be anything living.
There is a, as you look into this room, let me just bring up the description.
Ugh.
Yeah, you look at a body that appears to have been worked on in some way by the, you can only guess by the implements in the previous room. It is particularly dark in here, but there is a long stone table that dominates the center of this chamber.
Is that the Dark Knight?
And bright bits of gold wink from within the dust that covers the floor.
Look. Gold.
On the table lies a preserved, in some foul craft, preserved corpse of a tall humanoid wearing the tabard and belts of a knight.
I don't like this very much, Archie.
No. Gold coin on the floor, or just like speckles of gold?
All over. As you step forward, Archie, there is a sudden lurching movement. You are frozen to the spot. As suddenly, the corpse sits up and lifting, first clinking from his belt and then into his hand, you see a morning star in his hand. A vicious-looking javelin in the other.
Oh, God.
And as it climbs off the table, its mouth opens wide, and beneath a dark helm, it gives a loose, eerie groan. This terrifying bugbear lurches forward. Roll initiative.
25.
Yes.
My word.
26.
Oh, he shouldn't be there. Hang on. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry, so you got 25 and 26. Wow.
Yeah, we're smashing the initiative rolls, even if nothing else.
Yeah.
26 is auto.
I knew we should have rested Michael.
He's
Wander
25.
out into them.
The Dark Knight. Well, let's find out. He hasn't rolled yet.
Dark Knight rises.
The Dark Knight rises. Yes.
Plagiarism. No plagiarism.
2.
Haha.
Okay. So he does indeed rise. His heavy morning starlight dragging across the floor. But he does not go first. Otto, Elven Ranger, you are the first to act.
I will attempt to stick him with an arrow. 21.
21 is a hit.
6 points of damage. He fires an arrow straight into the damn thing's chest.
Amazing. You loose and your arrow slams into its chest. You do note, though, that it's almost like your shot isn't massively effective.
Yes.
Yay.
So that is something to consider. But it is still a hit and you do damage. Anything else on your turn, Otto?
I will hold an action of running if Archon decides to run.
Okay.
Obviously not actually running, it would be 30 feet.
Yes.
Very good. So, what is it you're going to do as our vision moves to Archin?
I will
Try it.
as I need to just check because something's just come to mind, and okay, so as a standard action, sorry, as a movement action, I will pull out my Morning Star, but as a standard action, I will lift up my symbol of Pelor as I will invoke the domain of the sun as I reach up high and shout and decree, this undead abomination will see the light of Pelor and it will face justice. I will attempt a greater turning. If I'm successful, I will explain what that does.
Okay, so with that then, turning, you have to roll on a table, don't you?
I do. So firstly, I need to see the maximum hit die I can affect, which is a d20 plus my charisma. Ooh, 13. This is risky. I can affect any creature with a hit die of 2 or less. Does it look like I affect this creature?
That's a really good question. Does it look like you affect this creature? Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You send forth your proclamation, and what does it look like, first of all, as that happens? How does it manifest?
For a moment, Archon actually radiates golden light, but this is a greater turning, so that golden light almost turns white and almost looks like it's a licking flame upon him, not just like light, but like I'm emitting holy fire.
Amazing. And as you do that, your power reaches its zenith, and then the darkness of this place returns. And you see that the Dark Knight is wholly unaffected, and I will point out wholly unaffected quite easily. As your turning power reaches him, you notice that you're not even close with that roll.
Oh boy.
Anything else on your turn?
I let my my holy symbol just hang from my neck, and I timidly bring my shield back up.
It staggers almost drunkenly to the side. To reach there. You're on a different thing. You're on different squares, depending on where I look. Are you in front of Otto or behind him? Because you're on different ones from mine.
I'm not in front of Otto, I'm
diagonally left.
Okay, then he wouldn't have done that then. He would have done that once then, in that case, because he is going for you. He's going to charge.
I can charge.
He can charge.
Oh no! Oh, I'm in his square now.
Yeah,
You're
that's
in
what I
him.
mean. Like, I don't get right. Let me move you there. So I've done it. So you should appear on mine. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
He's going to charge at you, Archin. Dum 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 dum. Great Morning Star, raised high.
Oh no!
It comes hurtling down like a comet from the Dawn Age. But you throw yourself to the side or parry. What do you do to defend yourself?
I throw. I don't want to parry that. I just
And it smashes into the ground next to you. That is its turn. As the Dark Knight gives a bellowing roar, it is now Otto's turn.
Otto will look to Archon and say, "Same as before," and jump to the side. Basically, at the same time as he's crashed, they basically separate and go either side of the creature, the monstrosity, and withdraws his short sword and lays into it, dropping his bow at the same time. That's a critical miss.
Possibly a fumble.
Should be 5. 22.
Just a miss.
That's a relief.
You swing wide, it just bounces off its armor on its person. Anything else, Otto?
Nope.
Okay, that is your turn. Archin.
Well, I don't have. So this is 8.
Yeah,
My courage from earlier has vanished.
You strike with your Morning Star, but it is turned.
All confidence gone.
I thought he's just going. I thought I had him. I thought I had him.
This was my chance.
Yes, it all seems to be going wrong now in the chamber where the Dark Knight has rested. The Dark Knight waiting, perhaps, to eclipse the sun. I say as I nearly spit out my gum. Lush. So that was. Yeah, sorry, that is his turn. He is going to. He's just going to strike out. Let's just do this fairly this time. Odds, it's Archin, even it's Otto. So odds, Archin, even Otto. Archin.
Better armor class.
The Morning
Yeah, it's
Star
probably the
comes
best.
ripping down out of the air.
Oh.
Possibly a fumble.
Yes,
Like
he
that.
could kill himself.
It's a fumble. Mike, would you like to do the honours? Roll me a D100.
Oh, I would be delighted to. 34.
Okay. It needs to do a DC 20 dexterity check. Just so you're aware, its dexterity is off the charts, so
Of course.
of course.
Why wouldn't it be? Oh, that was close.
It swings and loses its balance. The great thing topples over, clanging to the ground.
Get him!
This is our chance, Archin.
Now, ordinarily, it would be fall prone and stunned. However, this creature cannot be stunned, so he will be standing much sooner than, sadly, a living creature would be. But yeah, he faffs it and he falls to the ground. That is his turn. Otto, you watch as this thing collapses to the ground. He's prone. You have +4 to your attacks.
Is that +2 as well from...
And +2 because you're flanking. +6.
Fucking hell. This is our chance, Archin.
This
Otto
is our
cries.
chance.
Get him, boys! Let's get him. 19.
With what weapon?
Short sword.
What kind of damage does short sword do? It's slashing, isn't it? Or is it
Yeah,
piercing? I don't know.
slashing. It's
I think it could probably be either, depending how you use it, you cut across or you stab.
Yeah, it's a normal if it's a normal short sword, I'm going to say it's slashing. So, yep, so that is a hit. Please roll your damage.
I thought you were about to say that doesn't work at all. 7.
Yes.
Ho ho ho! We've got him.
Eight.
Because you slash at it, you completely bypass that resistance, cutting a great chunk of the thing's flesh. It gurgles on the ground, its dead eyes just like looking through you, Otto. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
That is it then. Archon, it's your turn.
Allow me to assist by Pelor's might. 13.
Oh, come
Is
on.
a miss. You strike down as batting at him, but like the sheer mass of him is just too much for you, Archon.
Oh, no!
It will use its action to rise. It lurches up, towering over the pair of you.
Attacks of opportunity for standing?
It's a movement. That's an attack of opportunity each.
Do we still get the +4 as it's
You're
standing?
still flanking him.
So is it
But
Oh,
is it as he...
I don't actually remember. We'll say yes. We'll say yes because he is at a disadvantage. So yeah, +6.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Awful rolling there.
17.
A miss from Archon, a hit from Otto. You bring down another slice.
Supporting you here, Otto. You got this.
Get him, boys! 5.
Incredible, yeah.
We can do this!
You hack down at him once again. Amazing. Okay. That was the attack of opportunity as he stood, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was his
Yeah.
turn. Otto, it's now your turn.
Third strike in a row. This is not a +4. It's
Just +2.
+2. I had to end sometime.
You swing
13,
wildly,
yeah.
and it just brings up a hand and just grabs your wrist, and stops you from from stabbing him, and just like pushes you away. That's your turn. Archon, it's your turn.
Yeah!
You just like rush him and just like run into him and like completely just panic. Like it's not even.
I hate his shit. Just. Oh no. You got this, Otto. I believe in you.
You do something!
I can't do anything. You resisted.
Let me roll again. I'm just gonna keep it even,
You
Stevens.
said you could destroy any undead.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to fight the undead.
You resisted it. My greatest power.
Who was it again? It was odds. Odds was
Odds,
Archon.
Archon.
Evens. Yeah, so we'll keep it the same. So odds is Archon. Evens it's Otto. Archon.
This is why I've missed because I've been focusing so much on defense.
Sure, when he was lying on the floor, yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
That is a hit.
Gulp.
God. Oh God.
That's a big weapon.
Oh God. Oh. I don't know why I keep putting it in that one. I don't know why I keep putting it in there. Oh. Archer.
No.
$11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Wow.
This morning star just sails out of the air and just passes through any resistance, smashing you. You hear bones just snap, Archon, as like you are driven. You put a thing on.
I'm
We
immediately.
don't have that many hit
dying.
points.
Like he hits me so hard, I crumple like paper to the floor. Just. I don't even have a chance to yell out. I just go. I am dying.
Otto, you look in absolute dread as the Dark Knight just like lifts up this morning star, and you see like flowing strands of blood just running off every point of this merciless weapon. He, like, the broken Archin is at his feet, and he just turns.
Dying Archin.
That is its turn.
This is my eyes are just out of terror, just dying eyes.
So there's no point me waiting for this. So Otto is going to move, provoke an attack of opportunity from the creature, and if it can take it, and pray that it can't, or doesn't kill me.
It will take the attack of opportunity.
Of course it will.
So, do they get attacks of opportunity? He only gets a single action.
I was sort of hoping it would be too slow to...
I don't think it does, to be honest, because he's a zombie. Single actions only, it says. An attack of opportunity is a reaction. That is an action.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
Great. In which case, I will run to Archin, grasp his hand, go, Archin, Pelor needs you, and cast Cure Minor Wounds to give him 1 hit point. Can I then continue moving?
Yes.
Then I will fucking get away from him. So that was 5, 10, 15. I can't get out of the room, so I'll just have to go.
Technically, do you have spring attack?
I don't know what
I've
that is,
allowed
so
this, and we've allowed
Okay,
this
fair
in our
enough,
previous campaigns as well, so I'm saying you can complete your movement.
I am stable, but I'm still unconscious.
Are you serious? Get up.
You only become conscious at 0, so I'm at -2, so I'm not dying, but it would take healing to get me back to being conscious at 0.
God damn it. What a waste.
You've
Not healing
saved
you
my
again.
life.
I'm just looking for something. Bear with me 1 second. There it is. So sorry, that was your move, Otto. You call upon Pelor, and its light embraces Archin. Archin, what sign do you see in a vision from Pelor? You see like a single image. What is it that Archin sees? What does the light show you?
I would have seen a herald of Pelor. What I would have come to have studied and known as an Archon.
Wow.
So I would have seen this winged figure, majestic, wide wings, just appear for a moment. That was it.
Very good.
Picture from a book I studied. But yes, I am just not dead.
Okay, so that's what you see, and you are brought to 1 point hit point. Is that correct?
I'm brought to -2. However, I'm not now dying.
You're stable.
So
that's
until-
right. Yes, but at minus.
So until I get to 0 or more, I'm still
Oh
unconscious.
yes, you're still out. Oh god, yes. Okay.
But it's
It
been
wasn't quite the saving grace that I had hoped, but
you've
at least
saved
you're
my
not
life.
dead.
I mean,
It's not like in the game where we've taken beyond 0 and gone, I'm up again, because level 1.
the bugbear looks down upon you, Archin, and raises its morning star before charging at Otto.
I mean, he's going to kill one of us.
So you can move 10 feet to get to you, so that's what he's going to do. So it doesn't matter too much that you did that extra movement, because he can get you.
Yeah.
Oh, he can get you.
also probably worse actually because he gets a bonus.
He charges Morning Star aloft. How is it that you defend yourself, Otto, as this Morning Star explodes through whatever is behind you?
I think Otto literally is running and like it's almost like the bugbear smashes into him just at the wrong timing and knocks him out the way, but doesn't manage to swing the Morning Star down on him. Shatters a vase or something.
Very good. Very good indeed. Okay, that was its turn. It's your turn.
So, because he charged, he's got a negative to his AC.
He does.
So that's minor benefit. He'll guide my hand. Fuck.
Yeah, sadly, while he is at -2, it's still not that low, sadly.
It's not that shit. Yeah.
Anything else?
Level 1 character, man. I've got nothing to. Nothing I can use.
Lift the Morning Star high. That's a hit.
Yeah, I'm dead.
What were you on?
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Good point.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm dead. -4.
Oh.
Oh my god. The Morning Star hurtles down from on high and slams into your collarbone, Otto, and the damage is just immense. What does that knock you to?
-4.
Okay.
Perhaps that Archon I saw was not a one-off knife, but one guiding me beyond.
He's just taking the pain away.
So, Otto, what do you see? What's the vision that you see in this moment?
I think he probably sees similar to what Hutchin saw, except his one is not made out of gold light or anything. It's a replica handmade out of wooden branches and string, similar to his pendant that he's got, that he's copied off Archins because he's not a proper follower, so he doesn't really see it.
Oh. And like we see that pendant and the blood's just like flowing like across it as yeah, you don't see anything anymore, Otto. You don't feel the Morning Star hit you again. And then again. Archin, you are here for a moment longer. And you see that Archon, that broad figure with wings wide, silhouetted by the sun. But then a terrible, dark, and stormy night falls. And you see, Archie, that is no Archon that stands in front of you, its wings wide, but a dragon, twisted and evil. And it grins as its teeth closes upon you, and the Morning Star caves in your skull. And that is the end of A Dark and Stormy Night, an adventure brought to you from the 3rd edition era of Dungeons and Dragons. I'd like to thank Owen K. Stevens for designing the adventure. He did design it for
thanks,
players,
mate.
so that might be why we have encountered such a brutal and twisted ending to this tale. We will discuss plans. We will discuss the future of the Let's Dig Up series. But first of all, we're going to ask the players for their thoughts about the ending and, well, about the whole of tonight's game. And I think we will start with Dom, aka Otto.
Yeah, I think it was just a bit much for 2 level 1s.
I think it was, wasn't it?
It was good fun, but the fact we struggled with the rats at the very beginning did not bode well. I think we did pretty well considering, but I don't feel like there was any way we were going to get the bugbear at the end there, especially with Archon's spells expended.
Yeah.
Yep, you had no spells going into that, which was troublesome indeed. Any other thoughts, Dom, before we move to Mike?
I think it seems like a fun sort of campaign thing. It seems like it could be a good one to do for beginners. Definitely, like it's tough, but not too tough, and yeah, sort of dips you in with all sorts of different stuff. So I quite liked it.
Yes, there we are. So that is it in its effect. Of course, I twisted it so north was up, but yes, there is the original map. I will also be sharing the Dungeon Draft version of the map, because I thought whilst I'm making like exact replicas of all of these maps that fit for Roll20, like I feel like it might be a nice idea to share them. So I will put them somewhere and let people know. Mike, final thoughts. Final thoughts for Archon too.
I mean, I think it's, as a first level adventure goes, I think it's really enticing because there's just enough of a hook there to go, who is this character and what's going on, what's
there's lots
storm
there.
piece. And I think there's the potential to open up into quite a lot. I think we were talking about this last after we did previous the finishing touch, that what would be the best option, and we went with 2 level 1 characters. In hindsight, I think if we were both level 2, that could have been a fair fight.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
buy off the levels of the missing people into the level up. So I think 2 level 2s, although not momentous, would have, I think, brought us the edge that would have made that end maybe not so drastic.
Yeah, he had 6 hit die.
Oh, I would never have reached that. Even if I got the top, I would never have got that.
He's there to be like a punching bag for 4 adventurers, and there was 2 of you, and you really didn't have much to use against him either, as you had expended all of your resources because there's only 2 of you. So,
and we were both, in essence, we weren't dedicated like a tank or a caster. We were both essentially a support tank and a support caster, because, you know, as a level 1 cleric, you don't have a lot of the oomph you get like level 2 spells onwards.
Also ruthlessly rolled, as I've explained, and in fact, let me just bring this up again, just for those joining this, because I did put this on the post promoting this game, but I will read out what the full rules of play were. So player, character, race, class and age were all determined randomly, and they were awarded standard starting gold, or they could roll for it. These 2 both elected to roll for it,
And got lower than average.
got
That
lower
we
than
did.
average. Ability scores were generated randomly in 1 attempt, so we do the good old fashioned roll 4d6 and then lose the lowest. And yeah, that was in 1 attempt, so it was literally just with random numbers, which I thought was quite savage. They were okay, but they weren't
too bad.
They
no.
weren't that bad, but it could have been way better. Of course, then public DM rolls to make it scientific, to show this is exactly what would happen with the modules as written. So all of the stats of the creatures were exactly as in what they were in the book, with 1 exception. And the critical hit table, of course, for added lethality, because that's our bread and butter. That's what we love. A few other things to make note of. Of course, Felix was in there as a device that I included to give a lot of the exposition that's in the writing of the module, but doesn't actually reach the grey boxes. So there's a lot of background information that's given to you as a DM, and it's said, show it to them in whatever way you see fit, whether that be in that parchment that's crumbling off the walls, which I love, by the way. It suddenly came to me, I was like, oh my god, you've got like a ring of translate, now you'll be able to read a bit of exposition. So I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, Felix was meant to be someone who was in there for a very specific purpose as well, and could give you background on the Dark Knight and a bit more about why he's there, and also the larger thing of what is alluded to in this module, which sadly he didn't get because he fucking killed himself, because we rolled on that critical table and that's how the dice fell. So Felix died, thus I was hoping then he would then have a third character to soften the blow even more. That's what he was there for. He was there to be player number 3, and he didn't have that going forward. He was also a rogue, so he could potentially help you with that chest. So yeah, but that didn't happen. So there we are. That is Dark and Stormy Night. I really enjoyed running it, and we were going to discover, if they had survived, what the next one could potentially be. I don't know. Do you want to know, or do you want me to keep it stum again?
Look, we're going to be new characters again, so they're not going to know.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to know. Do it like today. Save it for the publicity.
Cool. In that case, then, the last thing that we're going to do tonight, I think we're going to randomly determine the characters again. I think that would be quite fun.
Yep.
But we will do that
Goodbye,
off
Otto.
stream. Thank you both for being such good sports about that. It was brutal, but at least it was all there in front of you, and you can now obviously look at the module and see, oh yeah, the only difference, the bugbear had a masterwork morning star, because which, it says equip the bugbear with a masterwork weapon of that one of the players have, as an incentive. Oh look, you've killed him, you could use it. And then the idea was going to be you could modify it arching, so even though it was big, you could still use it and it'd be a masterwork weapon. So it does specifically say arm him with a masterwork weapon. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a Morningstar because it's a bugbear, come on. And obviously it's for you. So there we are. For those watching live and after that, thank you ever so much for your patience and for hopefully enjoying this episode of Let's Dig Up a Dark and Stormy Night, and keep your eyes peeled for what the next module is going to be. There was a slight hint to what it is going to be in what Archin saw, but that is a tale for another time. If you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, give us a subscribe and follow us on Twitch, and we shall see you all in the next one. Take it easy, and all left to say is what we always say. Burn the rolls.
Burn them rolls.
Burn them rolls.
And a TPK.
Okay.